What is up? I told y'all we was going to try to bring as many people on this screen as possible. All right, get the likes up, get the shares, all that great stuff. What's going on? Another episode of Wednesday Night Triggered with Instructor Mike and friends. I am Mike, Instructor Mike, whatever. You can follow me on Facebook, Mike Brown, Instructor Mike. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Yes, Mike said it. Subscribe to my YouTube page, and now I got two. Instructor Mike and Instructor Mike Shorts. What does that mean, right? We'll talk about that later. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. It's going to be a great show. I'm going to have each one of these amazing gentlemen introduce themselves and their business right in the door, because you need to get your butt in somebody's concealed carry class, and we got a pretty good show for you. So starting up at the top, John, you got your mic muted. He probably got some Sade in the back playing. Go ahead.
All right, John with Guardian Concepts here. All right, right there. As you can see on the sign, based out of Bourbonnais, Illinois. We do the basic concealed carry class 16-8-4. We also do the advanced training. Obviously, nothing in Illinois requires advanced training. We just extremely and highly recommend it. Like Mike says, 16 hours is just enough to get you killed.
Hell yeah.
So, and that's all we get for the most part. Classes, August class, our August 28th and 29th class is full. So we are booking for our October class right now. And that's as far as basic concealed carry. Our Guardian tags is our defensive shooting classes. Take a look at our website. Follow us on Facebook. You can see all the other defensive classes we have available. And see if anything interests you. We're here and ready to go.
That's it. Good deal. Good deal. All right. Don, what's going on?
Hey, thanks for having me.
I didn't have Afghanistan. Don't believe that shit. Go ahead.
I am Donald Bolton. I'm the lead operator for Illinois Protection Services. We do the 16 hours. We do the 3 hours. We do one-on-one instruction. We'll come to your home and do safety assessments. We do a little bit of advanced training. Still trying to master my force-on-force curriculum and secure some areas, but we do it all. So come see me. I got a class this weekend. I believe I'm sold out, but come see me. Come see any one of these great instructors on here, and just what Mike said, get your butt in somebody's class, and if you can, get your butt in a few classes.
Uh-oh. We back to freezing up again. Let's see. Let's see if it goes.
I saw it. So what's going on, everybody? Most of y'all already know me. My name is Marquise. I'm owner-operator of P6 Firearms Training. I do everything. Let's just put it like that. I just do everything. Everything these gentlemen just said, I do it too. All right, we're not going to beat the dead horse. We all teach the concealed carry. A lot of us do the advanced classes. We do it all. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to go into details of everything we do, because literally we ain't got enough showtime for that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I paid the internet bill. Y'all ain't shit. I'm just letting y'all know that. Talking about my internet bill. Look, I got the Obama internet.
Here we go.
I told y'all.
You got the Obamacare internet?
You know it. And I told y'all.
It only works for some?
Don't say shit, Marcus. Y'all said, where y'all pouches at? No? I gotta be the only one? That's all right. That's all right. I just wanted to do that.
I said we was gonna pick a Wednesday.
Oh,
he did say that.
Oh,
he did say that.
It's just me? All right. Okay. All right. Fair enough. It's a little too late.
Hey, Karen said you bought a fanny pack instead of paying your internet bill.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. That's fair. That's fair to put that up there. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that.
Shots fired. Shots
fired. Subject down. Okay. Shots fired. Internet down. All right. Damn it. All right. So we are going to talk about tonight the Morgan mom, like Iman. We can't even get into the fucking thing without even laughing. The Morgan mom, who stormed into Christ Hospital trying to see. Oh, they go to Iceman.
What the hell?
Don't you? Hey, that's Val Kilmer. That's the ice.
I was like, hold up. That's
Hey man,
That's
that's
it.
playing. That's Top Gun, man.
That's what
Hey,
that
hold on,
is. That's,
no, it's not.
Oh yeah, that's
No,
Top
no.
Gun, man.
That is a
that is
video.
Top Gun. It says it right
That is
there.
a video, bruh. That's the
That
video of the song. That's not Top Gun.
No, that's Top Gun. That's when they're
That's-
That's
on
the
from the
video of
movie.
the song.
Yeah,
Zach,
but
it's the video of the song, not the movie.
No.
All right, let's not trip.
There's this. We just
Here we go. Let's let's get to this. Here we go.
learned the mother
Marquise
of
is
the two
literal. I forgot who I was dealing with.
went to the hospital to see her son and was handcuffed by Chicago police.
Monte Morgan, my son.
Okay, hold on. Was there a security guard?
I want to see my son.
Oh, hold on.
Monte!
A woman who says she's the Morgan's mother live streamed on Facebook as she rushed past nurses to see Monty in his hospital room. He was shot in the stomach Saturday night and was being guarded by police.
You leave it to see. Oh, we're gonna also get to that one too. That's gonna be an interesting one. Thoughts? Go. I
Well,
don't care.
Let me
Who
start.
wants to hurt that bad?
This scenario kind of hits home, and I'm pretty sure to you too, Mike, as a former public safety officer with Advocate Trinity. I just got a lot of questions. First, how did she get there?
Dude, I used to work at Christ. Go. Just go.
I know. So there's a lot of things wrong with this. A, how did she even get to the unit? B, why would they just buzz her in? And this just hits home because working at Advocate Trinity, one of the rule of thumb is when you're sitting on a prisoner, there's no guest. Nobody should even be on that unit. That prisoner should be in a control unit. And that just should have never happened. I just can't even wrap my mind around that.
But did you hear the first question that came out that nurse's mouth?
She asked
Was
her
there
who she
any
had to see.
security? That's why
Yeah.
the nurse was stunned and couldn't help because she was like, wait a minute, there was no security?
I
This is-
believe there was a officer on that unit because just looking at the stuff when I looked at the video, I kind of recognized the uniform, but that should have never happened. She should have never.
Go
got
back
that
to the
far.
video and listen to the first question that nurse asked. I'm telling you, she asked, how did you get past security?
Yes, she did
did.
ask that.
Okay.
And as Kim talked about, it's easy to walk in there, but I'm trying to figure out because I used to work there at Christ, and it depends on if she was in SINI, which is, I believe, last I recall, and it's been a minute, on the, okay, here we go, Kenny Ray. I tried to plug you in, man. If you ready, are you ready to come in? Unless you just not, because Kenny Ray, you know, he's there quite often. But SINI is on the 4th floor. And that's that's the surgical intensive nursing unit. That's the only place that I could imagine them going to, especially after surgery. And it's not hard to get in there because you're going from the ER to that elevator. As soon as you go out of one of the doors, I forgot which one, but to the elevator and then take it up to 4. And then you're right there. They're literally, now there's supposed to be security outside of SINI. And there would be supposed to be. Processes change, I would imagine, but no, you're good, Kenny. You're good. Process probably has changed, but that's not supposed to be something that happens. Neither here nor there. Mom's reaction. What are your thoughts about that? I wish I could find, y'all talk about that. I'm gonna see if I can find that video where she went live. There's another one. Go.
So what he's referring to is the video that's a lot longer, where the mother is in the car talking about how innocent her sons are and how there's more to the story. And I'm cracking up for one reason. If there's more to the story, looking at their mugshots, the assumption would be the more to the story is those officers were shot with legally owned firearms by concealed carriers. If that's not the more to the story, GTFO.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the video. I got it. Let me go on ahead and put it full screen. Let's plug it. And it's not as long, but let's see what she does say in this. You said it's on her Facebook page, and it was for show. The question remains: how does she find out where he was? Well, that's not hard. That's not hard. Okay, thank you for that, Jess. It's been a minute since I've been up in there. It's called The Stick, the Surgery, Trauma, and Intensive Care. They changed the shit so much. Beautiful looking hospital, but neither here nor there. Thanks for that, Jess. Let's go on ahead and play the video. Matter of fact, oh, and let's get the likes up. Let's go on ahead and share, bring people in the conversation, because we're gonna next talk about the finger pointing. All right, I got to tell y'all guys, but this is the easy one. The finger pointing that went back and forth between the police and the state's attorney, and then this, and now in this situation, they want no finger pointing. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's play this video.
I just wanted to get on here real quick to be a voice for my boys, Eric and Monty Morgan. I want you to know I love you, and your family loves you, and you not alone. Know that shit. For everybody else, I just want to simply say there is another side, and my boy's side is not being told right now. I cannot speak too much on it, but I will say this. Don't believe everything you hear and see. It's fictitious. And there is another side. My boys are not monsters, what people trying to paint them to be, at all. At all. There is another side. I don't believe a damn thing CPD says. And I can guarantee you this, my boys was afraid. I'm afraid. Our young black women, not only young black women, young black men, like I just said, I'm afraid. Adults are afraid of the CPD. And I'm clean. I'm not a criminal. My car is clean. I got insurance, all that. But if a cop get behind me, my heart drops. We fear our police here. Unfortunately, we fear them. We don't believe in them. We don't trust them. They get behind us. Our hearts drop. We're scared. That's just the reality of it. Whether people want to hear that or not, I don't give a damn what people want to hear. I need to be a voice for my boys. And that's all I got to say. Let me get in this hospital to see my damn son.
So does the apple fall too far from the tree? Oh, wait, let me stop this because the video is about to go on ahead and play through. I would love to hear her comments.
Who wants to go first at bat? Come on, man.
At bat.
All right, so I'll jump in on this one real quick. I mean, obviously, every mother wants to, you know what I mean, consider their babies that, you know what I mean, they don't ever do wrong. There was another reason why they did it. They were in fear of their lives. We're going to hear everything underneath the sun of why her babies, you know what I mean, couldn't do this. And that's I say it's a natural parental instinct, but then there's also needs to be the aspect of parental where you just have to acknowledge your kids did wrong. At the end of the day, like my children, you know what I mean? When they do wrong, you're wrong. That's it. Now you got to face the consequence. But you know what I mean? My children obviously they haven't shot anyone. So there's that.
I agree with you. I mean, what mom or even a dad for that matter will not at least support their kids and want to give them the benefit of the doubt? You know, I totally expect that, and I totally respect that. But she has to know what her kids are into. They're not new to trouble. And for her to say, you don't know what the story is, at that point, she really doesn't know what the story is either. She hasn't talked to any of her kids or any of the witnesses at that point. So to answer your question, Mike, the apple, in most cases, the apple does not fall too far from the tree. And
I'm sorry.
She knows. She just knows. She knows. She knows deep down.
Here's what made me laugh about all of this stuff. I almost caught myself.
It's okay.
So
let's
play devil's advocate. Let's play devil's advocate. When what was his name? Kyle Rittenhouse shot people in Wisconsin, what was the question on everybody's mind?
What was he doing?
Where did he get the gun?
Yep.
Mhm.
You had the young 13-year-old who was just shot by cops a couple of months ago.
Right.
Guess what question
Toledo.
wasn't asked? Where did he get the gun? Now you got 2 young men in the hospital or whatever, and guess what question is still not being asked? Where did he get the gun?
Not from her,
So
but from Superintendent Brown. He said where they got it.
right. So this is what kills me every time. I love how we keep wanting to play that the legal system or the no, what's it called? The institutional racism or whatever else exists, right? But let's play the game for real. As long as your pockets are green, the law system is for you. Your skin tone ain't got nothing to do with law. It's literally about the money. How much money you got to stand up in court to say whatever you got to say. All right? What kills me about this scenario right now is you're telling me that this mother is telling you there's more to the story about 2 young men who had a gun. But the mother didn't say my babies are legally concealed carry and they had a legal right to have that gun in their car. They felt threatened for their lives and they did what they had to do.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with you on that because most mothers, if their babies are innocent, they're shouting it from the rooftops.
Even when they're criminals, they shout them from the rooftops nowadays. We're not going to go there.
Yeah.
Right.
But if they're legit innocent, they're going to be throwing out all the evidence right off the bat. They're innocent because blah, 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 blah.
You know what? And it reminds me of that old school. Y'all probably seen this Facebook meme from way back in the day. It's the one where the mother is hugging Jason Voorhees and said, my baby ain't never done nothing to nobody.
Yep.
That's what I'm thinking about right now. Was the gun legit? And can you explain why do you feel your babies was innocent?
The gun was legit, but not in their hands.
You know, I think there are 2 ways you could look at this. One, yes, it is normal for a mother to be concerned about her children, but I think sometimes when we give them that understanding, one, we have to come to some hard truths that we all know. Not every mom is a good mom. Not every dad is a good dad.
True story.
And so from the looks of her, and I'm going to judge a book by its cover, she's probably maybe mid to touching 40s, right? So I would probably say mid 30s. She probably had him young. She probably didn't have a nice upbringing herself. And the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. If you look at the kids and then you look at the mom and you see there's mirroring behaviors. So this is not a surprise to us at all. Not a surprise at all. And so where is that fine line where you can say, yeah, mom, we get it. You want to go in and see your kid, but your kid did something that was unthinkable. You said she's mid 40s. She just turned 40. So she's right around my age. Right around my age. You know, right around, I just turned 40. That having been said, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Erica King said, I won't give her older than 35, but there's a lot of young mothers that do extremely well. So that's no excuse. Oh, that's a whole nother conversation right there. Because I don't know if there's a lot of young mothers that do extremely well. I will say there are some who do extremely well, but neither here nor there. Would we like to see a parental accountability bill? And what, if anything, you say we need to be ashamed for these comments? Oh, moving on. I ain't worried about that. Would we like to see a parental accountability bill? Because she should be the one, especially if these are her babies, her kids. She should be the one facing charges as well for contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
How old are they?
I don't know. They're not a
They're
minor.
they're adults. I believe they're 21 and 20.
I tried it. I
Yeah.
tried to pull it. I'm sorry. I tried to
21
pull
and 22.
Yeah, that's what I thought. They're adults.
I tried to pull it. I'm sorry. I tried
That's a good topic.
That tattoo on his face shows that he's an upstanding citizen. So,
Well, I mean, if you want to play the accountability game, I mean, obviously, if they didn't have the greatest of childhood, it's okay to sue a gun manufacturer that made a gun.
True. True.
So why can't the parent be held accountable for how they raise their child, even at 25 years old?
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
on the
we can
fence
play
on
that
that.
game. You know what I mean? We can play the devil's advocate game.
Yeah. I knew they were good. I just tried it.
Oh yeah, no, but I'm just throwing that out there. I mean, we can play that game.
It's fucking all right. I tried. All right. All right. So this is nothing new. Not much time to spend on this. Let's go to the next topic. So the finger pointing game. It's amazing how Lori Lightfoot and Mayor Lori Lightfoot, in addressing the media, doesn't want the fingerprint, doesn't want the finger to be pointed. And let's hear it from her own words, because I think that's something that's important to even there go Top Gun again. Not that. That's something to focus on. Y'all still not that again, though. All right. That is something important to go on ahead and focus on. So let's dive into it. Look at Kenny Loggins. All right, guys, not a word. Here we go.
Rest of his life, uplift him and support them. They will need our help as a city. 2 young people doing what we ask. Service over self, commitment, and dedication. I also want to address another issue that's been lashing our city for far too long. There are some who say that we do not do enough for the police and that we are handcuffing them from doing their jobs. There are others who say we do too much for the police and that we never hold them accountable for what they do, particularly in Black and brown neighborhoods. For all of this, I say, stop. Just stop. This constant strife is not what we need in this moment. Of course, we have to continue the journey to achieve constitutional accountable policing. That cannot be in debate at this point. But let me also reiterate what I've said before, what I know to be true. The police are not our enemies. They are human, just as we are. Flawed, just as we are. But also risking their lives every day for our safety and security. That reality became very real last night in an emergency room, amongst tears and fears from the finest and the most courageous people I know.
Why Shane talk about them turning their back? Go ahead.
A mother lost her daughter last night.
All right, I'm not going to keep playing that part. It's amazing when she's talking about the finger pointing should stop, but wasn't she just part of the finger pointing just a minute ago?
We get marred by multiple mass shootings that are being blamed on ongoing gang conflicts. Police Superintendent David Brown said there are many contributing factors.
Too many guns, too many illegal guns in the wrong hands.
But Brown also took aim at prosecutors, suggesting they are soft on gun offenders.
I would say the reason why we're seeing so many mass shootings, we have strong advocacy in the courts for offenders and very little for victims.
Tonight, a spokeswoman for Cook County State's Attorney Kim Fox responding by saying the superintendent's premise is completely false. We approve 94% of gun cases that come to our office. And she pointed the finger back at police, saying justice for the victims means getting the shooters off the streets. Brown and Mayor Lori Lightfoot also expressing frustration with the courts.
Our criminal courts have been shut down for 15 months. They need to reopen. And we need to see the wheels of justice moving for our victims and their families.
This afternoon, the Chief Judge's Office responding to the criticism, saying they have been having jury trials since mid-March. And even though they're not happening as frequently due to ongoing pandemic restrictions, a spokeswoman saying this afternoon that most criminal cases are disposed of through either bench trials, guilty pleas, or charges being dropped. The mayor did also call out the shooters, saying they won't let the criminal justice system play out, instead meting out their own street justice in their thirst for revenge. Craig Wall, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
So, which is it? Are they doing their job? Are they not doing their job? Which is it?
So let's play the game.
Play the game.
You want to tell me that 94% of gun cases that come across your desk are what she say? They're what?
Being accepted.
They're
being accepted. What? Go ahead, because I've been listening to bond court all day. Go ahead.
So, do you remember when you brought up that bond court and I read to you the headline of people who shot people while on house arrest? Yes, you have approved the gun cases and told them to go home until court starts. How stupid is that? You know what? You're right. And I agree with her 100%. She has approved of 94% of all her gun cases that require the person to go back to house arrest to go kill somebody else. I agree with her 100%. Yes, she has. Mm-hmm.
I would like to fact check that statistic.
Oh, dude, look on it. Just look on the news headlines when you see people on house arrest shooting people. She's right.
Well, I'm just talking about the 94%. I think that's high, but
here's this stuff. I've been listening to bond court. Like, okay, I like listening to bond court. I'm sorry, I'm a court junkie. Sorry,
twisted fetish.
Yeah, court junkie. Hi, but I've been listening to bond court, and if they're releasing them, I kind of want to know where, because I listen to what the judges are saying, and for the most part, the judge is giving them high bonds. No, I see what you're saying, Marquise.
What's your definition of a high bond, though?
Well, no. Here we go. I'm not talking about a high bond they can't afford. Okay, I'm talking about they're giving them a high bond because what some people don't understand is there's a difference between the police being able to arrest and then the evidence that's required to establish bond, the evidence that's required to get an indictment, and the evidence that's required to secure a conviction. There's a difference in all of that. Police, we know, probable cause. I mean, Terry versus Ohio, probable cause, that's an arrest, right? Bond court is circumstances and aggravation, circumstances and mitigation. What makes the crime worse? Your past behaviors, stuff like that, your past record, stuff like that. Even in gun cases, having an extended magazine and a firearm with a switch is cause for aggravation, right? In bond setting. And I'm listening to these judges. I don't hear any of these judges really giving them a break. Now, maybe I'm listening to something different. You're more than welcome to go to Cook County Bond Court, Light and Criminal Courts Building 100 on YouTube. You don't even have to go in. You can go on YouTube. So I think there's a difference between the rhetoric that's being spewed, because I was one of those ones that would be like, Kim Fox is releasing them and they're getting back out into the streets. I think there's a different dynamic that we are not understanding in terms of the judge only doing what they can do within the confines of the law and not understanding that the streets got bank. The streets money is long. So if you are part of this crew or you are part of these people and the judge set the highest bond by law that they can set with EM and whatever the case may be, and somebody come post your bond, what can the judge do?
Nothing.
So that's a legislative, and the judge will even say it himself. I heard him say it, that this is a legislative issue. Chapter 730, Illinois Compiled Statutes Act 5, that's the Unified Code of Corrections. 725, that's the Code of Criminal Procedure. That's a legislative issue. So while they're finger pointing at the executive and the judicial, everything stems from the legislature. So you got to get your people like LaShawn Ford, your Marcus Evans, your what's the Senate president's name? I want to say Emu Jones. That's the older gentleman. But we got to get those guys to get on board with comprehensive measures to increase bond amounts, of course, in conversation with the Illinois Supreme Court and other applicable appellate and case law, and then make that something that changes. Because you're pointing fingers at the wrong people. I hear the state's attorney going in and vigorously fighting. I hear it. And then when you're talking about Imante and then his younger brother, Assistant State's Attorney Murphy came in. I know who he is. He's a bigwig. Came in, did the bond proffers, everything lining up. I remember going to get search warrants. I remember felony review. I'm sure you remember it too, Don. I remember felony review. Dude, you can't get stuff just past them without going through because they got to make sure their ducks are in a row. States attorneys don't even like taking cases. Now, we're not talking about Kim. There's a difference between Kim, who's never prosecuted a murder ever, like she's never worked a murder, and then the other first deputies and assistant state's attorneys who got that work in. There's a difference. Kim don't really make that many decisions. It's at the lowest level, below her. You know, the first deputies and the different heads over the districts. You see what I'm saying? So when we're talking about the ASAs are not doing their job, and I've always been known as, and I yield to you all for comments, but I've always been known as a fair person. When you're right, you're right. I can still say Kim Foxx needs to do other things and still say this one ain't on her. And it's not on the judges. This is a legislative issue because they're bound by the law. I yield.
So there's one case that comes to my mind right now, and I wish I had the names. There was two gentlemen, two cabbies, that got into a fight downtown Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. And one accidentally killed the other. It was put before Kim Foxx to take care of that business. What ended up happening was she released the other cabbie on bond, and he escaped back to his country, leaving the widow of that woman having to deal with what just happened to her husband, the breadwinner.
Yeah.
So, you know how, and I hate to be that person, how one act shouldn't define who you are as an individual, but looking at that widow's face, I ain't got no love, bro.
True. No. And I ain't saying we got to have love, but my thing is this. I think we got to, fingers need to be pointed where they need to be pointed in terms of where the change needs to be made. My thing is, Kim Foxx is a figurehead. She herself is not a veteran prosecutor. I don't care what nobody say. If you watch the Chicago Tonight, interviews between her and Anita Alvarez, a veteran beast in the court, and then Donna Moore, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Kim Foxx is a figurehead. So that's basically what that was. But when the state's attorney's office is being finger pointed, like when they say they approve 94% of their gun cases, I tend to agree with that stat, because not only are you getting the bangers out in the streets, those who are being caught, but they also getting persons who got FOIA cards who was just probably carrying not the right way, and just to get that number up. Every time you listen to Superintendent Brown come on the air, it's always we got this many guns, we got that many guns, it's like a numbers game with how many guns they got.
Well, where's that 94% coming? Is that 2021? Is that her during her whole tenure? Anybody can take a stat and skew it to make a valid point. Yeah, I mean, is this 94% this summer? Is it 4 years? Tell me,
Yeah,
all 6 from January.
And I mean,
Exactly.
I agree with, so if you see Marcus Darby's comment, in fairness, could have been backdoor movement where she was told not to push it. We all know, you know what I mean? Not only do we have a legislative issue, I will agree with Mike on that, you know what I mean? But we also got a corruption issue. There are a lot of backroom deals that go on where in the scheme of things, we're going to let this person go because this person's going to turn on and obviously give us a bigger fish.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or,
Like,
you know what I mean? Such and such an alderman, you know what I mean, who's trying to keep peace within his ward and is brokering deals between obviously keeping peace and things like that. Okay, now we got to let this slide.
right. Like, we not called the Windy City because of the weather. Concrete and proper belief.
You said
You know what I mean? So I agree with Marcus's comment. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different aspects that come into this. There is a legislation issue. There is a backroom issue. I mean, there's a money issue. Exactly, Marcus. Who's got the money?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cash rules everything around me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And let's not pretend, because again, we all know money moves mountains.
Money does move.
Absolutely.
Hey, you just go to onlyfans.com/Cook County.
Really?
Don't do this shit. Don't go there.
Shaking it on the podium.
You
Shake
said
it
what?
on the podium, y'all. Shake it on the podium.
Look, if it works for the church, it works for the courts. All right. So
wait, did you just say that, or did someone put that up there?
I did. No, I said that. These are not the comments of these guys. These are the comments of Mike and Mike alone. Do not pay attention. If you cancel me, just know they've already plugged their business. They are not in agreement. Go to their class. All right. So, and we're not talking about every church. So don't get mad and have your pastor come by and try to do a sprinkle drive-by with Passover crackers and Welch juice. All right.
Wow, with the Welch is great, baby.
Damn.
I don't know where the hell that came from, but it was there. Fuck it. Right. All right. So, all right. Let's shit. Let's get to it. All right. This is gonna be a wonderful question. Here we go. What do you say after a shooting as a law-abiding citizen? Oh.
STFU. Right? STFU.
All right, go.
Nothing.
I'm sure we're gonna have some similar, and we're gonna have some different. So this is gonna be a good one. If you guys are watching on YouTube, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, share this, get some more people in the conversation. Time to start tagging folks in. Now we're gonna go on ahead and get into the concealed carry stuff because that's what that's what we're here for. So let's kill the politics. Let's talk about our regular selves. All right, popcorn this. Go, whoever, go, just go. What y'all think?
I'll jump in real quick. Okay. Essentially, keep your mouth shut. I mean, that's it, plain and simple. Majority of civilians do not have the proper mindset after being involved in an incident to speak clearly and concisely and not basically try the case right there out on the scene. Give them every fact that you think that there's a fact and everything else under the sun and convict yourself before you even got a chance to walk in front of court. Police officers have a job for a reason. Investigators, detectives have a job for a reason. Let them detect. Let them investigate. Let them find the evidence. Shut up.
Let them do their job.
Stop talking. That's it. I need to go to the hospital. I'm not sure if I am hurt. I'm not sure if I'm going to go into shock. I need to go to the hospital.
Yep. Keep it simple. KISS. Minus the stupid.
Marcus said I'm having a panic attack. Marcus, you would say that shit, but Marcus big as hell, so they're gonna be like, I want to see how you and Marquise will both have a panic attack, knowing y'all live. It's gonna be a big ass. All right, here we go. You said I would like to make a statement at this time, but I prefer to make the statement in the presence of my lawyer. You said call 2 ambulances, one for you and one for them. Perhaps private citizens will start wearing body cameras. Boy, I got a few. Right. They're already recording with their cell phones. Just a thought. Is it wise to ask for your attorney before answering questions?
That is. Yeah.
So here's something that I recommend. Now, hold on. Here we go. She said, just don't talk. I got to disagree with you there. Here's the reason why.
Chicago PD, ain't she?
Huh?
Is she Chicago PD?
No, she's not Chicago PD. No.
She looks more familiar.
She's cool. She's been on the media. Eclipse, that's my friend. She's a great person. But she said, just don't talk. I'm gonna disagree. I want you all to understand that there is a difference between being quiet and activating your legal be quiet. There's a difference.
Yep.
There's a be quiet, and then there's a activating your legal be quiet. Being quiet is simply this. Salinas versus Texas, which is a United States Supreme Court case, your silence can be used as an indication of guilt against you. So you have to say certain things to activate your legal be quiet. 911, what's your emergency? First thing you want to give is a location, right?
Yep.
Phones could shut down, phones die, all that stuff. Location. Okay. Secondly, I would argue give a name, right? Because remember, you're the good guy. Identify yourself, right? You don't want to sit there and try to be so inconspicuous to where you hide your name, because a jury could interpret that as, why are you hiding yourself? You're the good guy. That's akin to running away from the scene totally and then letting them figure out that you were the one who shot such and such, right? Don't get me wrong. There's a difference between running to safety to where you're not in that active scene and then totally running away. Where in the first 48, we find out you flew to Atlanta. Go, Marquise, go. I know you want to say something.
Marcus Darby calling you out.
I heard that. I seen that. Marcus, come on. You want to get in? Send me text me so I can send you the link. It's about something just you, Mike Brown.
I agree 100% with Mike on that first thing. Is give that location. Man, please give that location. Because some of y'all are millennials, and some of y'all sit there and have your phone on 6. All right. So the first thing I want is the cops to know where I'm at so they can come help me out. All right. The next thing, there's been a shooting. Don't say I shot someone.
Please don't. Oh my God.
I shot someone in self-defense, or I had to shoot. People talk themselves into jail on a regular basis, and it's hilarious because it's like y'all been to a concealed carry class, and I'm pretty sure someone told y'all these same things, but I feel like some of y'all gonna parakeet or canary the whole time. I feel like you gonna canary this stuff. And I'm like, dude, there are certain people I don't want to be around if I had to defend myself. Like, hey, listen, I'm about to draw my gun. Can you go away? Go and get somewhere. Go and get somewhere, because I don't want you next to me. Matter of fact, close your eyes so then that way I can do what I got to do, and I got to worry about you as a negative witness. Because it is some... But anyway, I digress. Don't say I shot somebody. There's been a shooting. Then your name... what are you wearing? Man, I'm talking about get down to almost to the point of describing your underwear. I'm kidding on that last part, but describe yourself wholeheartedly. So they know on the scene, when they see this person with a gun, you're the person who called, because now they know who they're looking for. And of course, 2 ambulances and the police. And in my personal opinion, in that order, 2 ambulances and the police. Now, I won't go into details on why 2 ambulances, because this is recorded and it's going to be streamed live. But you always want 2 ambulances and the police.
That's it.
Hey, look at Raymond Barnes's comment. It's outstanding. I love Raymond.
I was in fear that hey, listen, I was in fear that was gonna take my man purse and thigh holster. Oh, thank you, Raymond. Leave it to you. Oh my God, I can't.
Kenneth, yes and no. So, Kenneth, what I say is this: there's 2 different ways that I look at it. All right, when I hear sirens, whee, and when I hear sirens, whee, okay. That's the way I look at it. If the scene is clear and I hear, whee, then I'm going to go ahead and holster. If the scene is not clear or I don't feel comfortable or safe and I hear, whee, then it goes on the ground. All right. If For me, it depends on the sound of the siren. If the siren's close, I don't mind holstering if there's no threats. If the sirens are loud as hell, that means that they've gotten too close to me already, and I must have missed something. Again, auditory occlusion. Gun on the ground, hands up, man. And you see how slow I went? That's as fast as I'm gonna go when I know a bunch of adrenaline pump people are about to start pointing guns.
But here's this too. Let's provide some context on that too. The movies makes it seem as though sirens are going to get louder up close. There's been plenty of shots fired calls I've responded to where as soon as we 1060 or we get close, we're killing the lights, we're killing the sirens. Yep. We want to catch folks.
Yep.
And so auditory exclusion. If you're not going to hear that siren, you definitely not hearing that revving of that engine as it comes close. And so I understand the holstering your firearm because of that, and then just keeping your head on a swivel so that when they get there, your hands are visible because, you know, and it depends on, that's why we talk about how you carry. How you carry is so important. Can my weapon in the man bag? You know, I should never did that video. All right. Well, but that's okay. I did that video. Look, here we go. Yes, Don and Mike, what were your thoughts and feelings when you responded? I'm going to tell you this, and I yield to Don too. I'm going to tell you this. First of all, when I responded, when we're talking about a call of a person with a gun, you know, our adrenaline is pumping too. Not just pumping because of what we're about to go into and who we're about to catch, but this could be our last day too.
Pre or post concealed carry?
What do you mean? I'm talking about as a cop.
Oh, as far as the offender?
Pre or post concealed carry as a cop. There's a difference right now.
Both. Well, both. Here's the reason why. Because in the academy and in law enforcement, if you own your game, we always expect everybody got a gun. So pre or post concealed carry, it shouldn't make a difference if your tactics are be nice to everyone you meet, but have a plan to dominate everyone you meet. Hands, you know I'm using different words, but you know what I mean.
I know what word you mean. Cheers.
You see what I'm saying? Right.
Cheers.
Cheers. Right. Have a plan to do that. You see what I'm saying? Every time. And so if you stay in that mindset and you don't trust people, you know, you're always expecting I could still be nice with my voice and surgical with my answers, with what I say. Keep your commands to no more than 3 words because you don't want to get very wordy. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Citizens can cause you to get outside your box and get wordy, where if you're starting to say more than 3 words, your brain is activating and not going to be able to respond to the thing that you can't react to fast enough. Don.
I agree. That was actually a good question, Marquise. Pre or post? You actually, if you just hands are what kill you. As long as you look at somebody's hands, everything is all good. They can pretty much do what they want to do, say what they want to say. You can have you know, as long as you see those hands, that's just my way of approaching it. If I see empty hands, I'm good.
Hands and distance, because hands with closed distance, remember, you can't react faster than they can act because you don't know when they're going to act. You could say, I want to kick you, but whatever, but you still got to close in that distance, which may buy me some time, you know. But I also look at it from this perspective too. Just imagine if we were still on, I was still on the job, and then pop, shots fired. I get on the radio, 689. I was coming outside of Starbucks. I went inside to get this wonderful latte that they had in there. Oh my God, you got to come by and see it and see my friend Marcus Darby. He works at Starbucks. and he makes a great he makes a great
Chino.
content.
Puppy
And
Chino.
then as I was getting ready to get into the car, I was like, oh my God, there is, Tim. I'm like, Tim, what you doing? Oh, you the one who locked me up the last time. This is what he's saying, right? He's saying with that deep voice, you the one who locked me up the last time. And then I see him, he don't have, I'm putting too much information out over the air. You see what I'm saying? I'm giving a story. And that's not what the radio is for. You're tying up that. And so 689, shots fired by the police, shots fired by the police. Send me a supervisor over here, send me a couple of units over here, whatever the case may be. Send me an ambulance. What do we need? What do we need? And that's the purpose of that 911 call. Location, shots fired, matter of fact, 911, what's your emergency? 644 East 79th Street, 644 East 79th Street, shots fired. I'm not going to, we can say robbery in progress, home invasion, attempted rape, attempted carjacking. It's important. And in everybody's concealed carry class, we talk about forcible felonies all the time. You can't sit here and say, F the police and not learn what the police do. Because there's a reason why police do what we do. There's a reason why we got, I'm saying learn 10 codes. Don't do that because not every department operates within that. Keep it title simple. Okay, murder, predatory, criminal, sexual assault, sexual assault, or just keep it rape, right? Robbery, burglary, residential burglary, aggravated arson, aggravated kidnapping, aggravated battery. Keep it simple. Every cop knows what those titles mean. You don't have to say, well, I was the victim of it. You can say that if you want to, but not everybody is going to have the mindset. Some people can't even get out words. They're so shook up. Mm-hmm. So a simple... I'm at the corner of 5th and Main.
And I was assaulted.
Yeah, I was assaulted. Or just rape in progress. What's your name? Christy. I got black shirt, torn jeans, black shoes. I'm scared. That's it. Just keep it simple. Send me 2 ambulances. And then when they get there, I want you to understand Miranda versus Arizona. 384 U.S. 436. That's a 1966 Supreme Court case. No one understands more than a suspect who's been about that life what to say and what not to say to the police. But when you are the victim, you think the police are my friends. And theoretically, they could be or not, depending upon your take. But they're not there to be your friends. They're not there to be liked. There's a balance that has to be stricken between solving the crime and protecting your rights. It's not their job to protect your rights. It's only their job to solve the crime. And you don't know what kind of evidence they're going to get. I've been on crime scenes where evidence has been picked up and walked away, blown away, rained away, peed away, kicked away, trampled on, spat upon. You don't know. Big Keisha was your friend until she found out you her man. And now this is her time to get back at you because the guy she shot was who she was in last night. I'm saying stranger things have happened. So now you want to talk and you don't know about the forecast of the evidence that they're about to look for or find, or the lack thereof.
Yep. And someone made a mention that under pressure, you can't think like that. Here's the thing, and I'm gonna tell you like this. I practice what I say the same way I practice my draw, the same way I practice my shooting, the same way I practice how I grab my license, registration, proof of insurance. Everything that I practice is for under pressure. Because again, we don't practice our draw stroke just because we like, yeah, this is cool. Yeah, this is cool. Yeah. No, hell no. It's so when happens, matter of fact, we'll say when the feces hits the oscillator. Like that. Borrow it, take it. When the feces hit the oscillator, your training is what saves you.
Right.
And it's your highest level of training, not your lowest, which is what's the misconception. The highest level of training is the last thing you've done. The highest level of training is the last thing you practice. That's what comes to the top. That's what comes to the top of when the feces hit the oscillator. So when you're doing all this stuff, I'm telling you, practice everything. Practice how you're going to make the phone call. Practice your draw stroke. Practice whatever you have on. Practice how you're going to draw your firearm or your knife, depending on what you have on. Practice all these things on a regular basis. So then that way, when we're talking about, man, this is about to happen right now, guess what I'm going back to? It might show my age, but I'm going to say it. The mental Rolodex. Yep, I remember practicing this. This is what I need to do. I know what I need to do right now. And that's the difference, is that people keep thinking that when stuff happens, they just going to remember, but you haven't trained to remember, and y'all keep using BS terms like muscle memory. And you keep depending on muscle memory if you want to, but I promise you this. Oh, hell no.
I'm going to piggyback real quick off of Marcus. It's one of the things that we do in our advanced classes, and I'm sure the rest of the guys up here do it as well. When I'm running a drill in the defensive classes, there comes a point where I'm actually in your ear screaming, telling you what I'm 911, what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong. And I'm screaming in your ear. After I done made you run down the range a little bit, increase your heart rate. Now we're getting on target. Now we're turning the subject down. What do you say? What do you say? You know what I mean? Literally screaming at you. Because, I mean, short of me shooting directly at you to try and induce stress, which is highly unethical, I have to induce stress. So when you get involved in an incident, old military term is a chemical cocktail dumps in your brain. Serotonin, adrenaline, a whole mix of emotions, everything else underneath the sun drops inside your head. And most of the time you develop tunnel vision. Majority of the time you develop tunnel vision. So if you don't go through and train how you're going to fight and speak how you fought or how you want to, you know what I mean, speak. Let me rephrase that. Or how you need to speak. Let me say that. Speak how you need to speak in order to save your rear end. Then you're going to fail across the board if you even make it out of the situation alive.
Right. And look at sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Look up parasympathetic backlash. Man, one of I hate to even use this guy's name because I don't want to throw him out there, but Napoleon was the king of parasympathetic backlash, and he probably didn't know it even existed. Right. What this man used to do was send over small amounts of troops to go fight, and they'll get defeated by the enemy, and the enemy was relaxed, and it was like, yeah, we won, woo! And then when Napoleon would send over his whole new unit and demolish them because they went from that adrenaline high and being at a peak performance and calmed down when they thought they won. You see it all the time, even in our real life. You ever seen those? Someone did a video montage of people who celebrated too early. So you'll see runners, they up there, you know the sound effects, and get close to the finish line, and they toss them hands up in victory, and the dude who was in second be like, right, and the person trying to hurry up and catch up, and they're like, wait a minute, how the hell did that just happen? You see it with races all the time because you thought you won and you started relaxing.
Right.
That is the most generic definition of parasympathetic backlash I can give you. Go Google it, go learn it. When you understand what happens to you physically under stress, especially we can call it this. We'll call it combat stress. We can use that?
Yeah.
So when you research literally what happens to the human body under combat stress, it might sound stupid, but knowledge is power. the more you know what's going to happen to you in these situations, the better off you'll be in understanding how to combat it.
Marcus asked a great question. Is it a fair statement to say that even a law-abiding citizen with a concealed carry can't have a mental moment and break down?
I have to say, regretfully, in my opinion, no. Keep your shit together until you're out of it.
Right.
Because again, you don't know what you're going to blurt out.
Right.
I'm going to say, in my personal opinion, it depends on what neighborhood you grew up in.
Yeah. Because go ahead.
Because I'm gonna be real with you. One of the biggest problems I used to have, and I guess I still kind of do, was cops who went to the academy and was born and raised in Mayberry, and you put them in Inglewood. And it's like, wait a minute. Where the cop who was born and raised in Inglewood sees sagging pants and dreads won't be as fearful as the guy in Mayberry who's been watching Yo MTV Raps.
Yes.
And give me a gang movie. Do we even have gang movies anymore?
In Chicago just
The Wire?
Okay.
The Wire. So the guy who's been watching The Wire in Mayberry is going to react differently than the guy who's born and raised in Inglewood. So
60th and LaSalle. That's fair.
Wow, he went there.
That's fair.
But yeah, so I mean, brain farts do happen, but trained people.
Okay. He says law-abiding citizen concealed carry wakes up and has a breakdown or snaps and goes and shoots 3 people. That happens. That happens all the time. Yeah, you don't even need concealed carry for that shit. You just need access to a gun.
Guess what? You're another person that had a mental breakdown. And, you know what I mean?
Doctor, pilot, that can happen to anybody.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's not a law-abiding citizen thing. Everybody's a law-abiding citizen until you break the law.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know, what was that movie? It was a movie called Falling Down. Remember it with Michael Douglas?
Vaguely.
He was a law-abiding citizen.
Wait, are we which law-abiding citizen?
I would say there's the movie Law-Abiding Citizen. I mean, he was a law-abiding citizen until his wife and child. You know what I mean?
First of all, he was a law-abiding citizen with unlawful skills.
Hey, hold on. We're not talking about that. We didn't say what he was employed for. Hold on. We didn't say what he was employed for.
That was a good movie.
Okay, then fine. Yes, law-abiding citizens, including
just because our government was paying him for his skills in general society, he was a law-abiding citizen, a great father, a great husband.
Right, because we don't know what he did.
Nobody knew what he did until freaking the district attorney started digging and had some contacts.
And I'm about to say, here's the thing. I think, you know what? It's kind of like what Mike said I think it was like last week. We see the movies where the person breaks the law to gain redemption for what happened to his loved ones and everything else.
Yeah, be a vigilante.
And you see the credits roll. So in my mind, I'm going to say it like this, but of course, there's always room for disagreement. We're becoming more preconditioned to want to be that person, but people don't understand the consequence. There is one movie, and it was so funny. It was right after we had this conversation. I think it's called Acts of Violence. It has Bruce Willis and this other guy who's pretty damn famous. I don't know his name. But at the end of the movie, it shows the vigilantes get arrested. I was like, that's the first time I've ever seen people who broke the law
and got arrested.
But of course, they were released later, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, you're preconditioned to think that you can just go out there and be a hero and a vigilante until.
Mm-hmm. And I'll tap into this. I'll tap into that question or that comment that you had right there. Okay. So I'm a combat veteran. Okay. I'm a disabled combat veteran. So I do suffer from PTSD. Have I had a breakdown? Have I had a hallucination while carrying? Yep, I have. Okay. So it brings into mental health. Okay. Luckily, I have worked with my family that when I get into a situation like that, they are able to help guide me through those situations to where it becomes obviously a non-violent situation. So is it possible? You know what I mean? Yeah, someone can have a breakdown. Yes, but if you work with your family and things like that, and not acknowledge obviously that you may have an issue after having a, you know what I mean, a concealed carry incident or a combat stress incident or whatever the case may be, and get help for those things to learn what your triggers are, how to deal with those moments, and get your family on board, your friends on board on how to cope with those moments. So that way it doesn't become something that's out of hand. Okay, you got to acknowledge that, again, we are responsible gun owners. We teach that, we preach that as instructors. So for me to sit there and just not acknowledge that I have PTSD would just be asinine and irresponsible, because then I'm now becoming more of a threat than I am an asset out on the street.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to touch base with that real quick.
And I will also add to that by saying the more that also can go along with conflict resolution.
Mm-hmm.
You know, conflict resolution and being honest with yourself about anger management, about your triggers that get you even angry. See, it's more to it than just learning about how to shoot a gun. It's also learning about what can cause the breakdown, PTSD. What are your triggers? You know, how many of us get into arguments when we know we should have stopped, but that I got a
Keep
point
going.
I got to prove, and then you keep on going into it, and this person, look, people will sell you a car they know you will drive. And if they're man, this is a whole nother topic that we can just spend hours on, because just digging into domestics, you know, you getting into an argument with your girl, your guy, whomever, and especially if we're talking about trauma bonding. I just posted a video about trauma bonding, what causes us to get into our relationships, and all the things in our past that we tell people about where we're hurting, we don't recognize we're bleeding. In an argument, they know where to stab because you've told them where you've hurt. And so you got to recognize that too, because when you when you want to stay into the argument because how dare you say these things and do this and do that, you want to prove that point because they tapped in. That's the time to get away. That's the time to run away.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we're talking about breakdowns. We're talking about triggers, but we don't want to leave that part out too, because it all comes together. Marcus asked a question. What would you suggest women that are in domestic violence situations and are scared or intimidated to go to law enforcement to help them? Go. Where would you suggest? I think you might want to rephrase that question.
So if you're afraid to go to law enforcement, find a friend that'll go with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Find someone to go with you, a family member, a friend. There's other advocacy groups out there that you don't necessarily have to go to law enforcement. There's other domestic violence centers that you can reach out to. You know what I mean? And it can be you can trying to set up anonymous to, if you're afraid to talk and you don't necessarily want to identify yourself as of yet. Those centers are very private. They are huge in keeping people's names obviously out. And there are actually homes for domestic violence victims where if they need to leave a place immediately, because I used to deliver goods and stuff to a couple shelters, because we would do donations for them, because different points you'd have someone show up to the shelter, they found out about the shelter, they'd show up with nothing, no clothes, no personal toiletries, literally zero. They would show up to the door regretfully hurt, and they would get housed right then and there. And then those people would help you get the order of protections that you need and things like that.
Don, I'll let you go on this one. I got something, but I'll let you go next, man.
If you're in a domestic violence situation, especially as a concealed carrier, you need to go to the police. And I always preach this. There's a fine line between victim and offender. And it's so easy to cross that line. And just how this ties together with triggers, you know, the man comes home and he may say something that usually leads into an ass whooping, and that may trigger you. And you may jump to a conclusion and just react from PTSD from getting your ass whooped previously, and you use your firearm. And it may more than likely it will be an error, and that can land you in jail. And on top of that, if you're not reporting this stuff to the police, as far as a paper trail or as it's documented, this is the first time it's happened to you. When it's been going along for months, days, weeks, years. So it's very important to you got to get out of that situation right away, and you definitely need to report that, and you definitely need to get a friend involved.
And I will even
the gun may not be your first time.
Yeah, I will even say this. Okay, Marcus brings up a wonderful point. She felt the system failed her because after an order of protection, he was still free and would pop up on her. The thing is this, Marcus. This reminds me of the United States Supreme Court case Castle Rock versus Gonzalez. Castle Rock versus Gonzalez, where you had the estranged wife that had an order of protection against her husband. Somehow the story gets lost in the sauce where we don't understand how he acquired the kids, but he ended up getting the girls. And so you sit here and she went to the police and she was like, look, I can't find my girls. I don't know where the girls are at. Her estranged husband had them, stuff like that. And then it's like, well, they're not missing just yet. Go on ahead, come back some other time, and then we'll just give it some more time to pass by before you file a report, right? Time passes by. She goes back to the police again. Same story. Time passes by. She goes back to the police again. Then they finally put out a bolo against him, be on the lookout against him in violation of that order of protection. Well, he brazenly shows up to the police station, gets into a shootout with the police. Police do what they do, right? Shoot, kill him. Search incident to that. In his vehicle, all three girls are in the back of the car, dead. So now she files an action against the Castle Rock Police Department and the government under Title 42, United States Code, Section 1983, stating that her property rights were violated in that, pursuant to the 14th Amendment, she had an intrinsic property right to the protection that was said to be afforded to her by the police. She had a property right to that. Well, the Supreme Court of the United States understood but disagreed with her. And Justice Antonin Scalia read the opinion of the court, pretty much stating that in that town, right, or in that jurisdiction, the law just suggests conditions, discretionary conditions, under which the police may enforce it, that they can arrest. It does not mandate that they must. And even if it mandates it, it doesn't take away discretionary authority. Saying all that to say this, an order of protection is just a piece of paper. All of us have said this before at some point in time. An order of protection is just a piece of paper. You have to do what you need to do to protect yourself. And I'm going to add this caveat, and I yield to the other experts on the panel, because that's what you guys are. I don't care what you say. And Marcus is a asshole expert, but not Marquise. Marcus. There's a different guy. All right, Marcus, you got to come on the next one while you comment in the peanut gallery with your jeggings. You got to wear your jeggings. I'm going to put the picture up next time. Here we go. I'm saying all that to say this, okay? Y'all can't sit here and watch a whole bunch of Lifetime television for women, and now you got all this evidence and all these little gadgets on the catch your man cheating, but then you pop up and play victim when it comes down to the domestic violence. What I'm saying is this: there are plenty of ways to get more than just a paper trail. The same way you'll set up that hidden camera to catch him and Becky with the good hair, right? Is the same camera you can prop up and set up to where we can see. Now, I don't say egg his ass on. Don't egg him on. But if he's going to do what he's going to do, you should be able to not only have that paper trail, but you should be able to have that evidence that gives the court system teeth to sink into this guy. Go. I yield.
So what I was going to say, that's why I wanted to get everybody's opinion. A couple of things. I always feel like this. DV is just like weight loss. No one can tell you when it's time for you to lose weight. Just like no one can tell you when it's time for you to get out that relationship. So that's one of the biggest things I'm going to tell you right now. Now, be ready to, and again, I'm writing stuff down on my phone. That's why I was like, I have to let people talk, because for me, I got to get it down in writing. Be ready to leave for real.
That's why I had
be
to put
ready
up
to leave
these
for real.
comments.
I don't want to hear no, yo, I walked out and then all of a sudden, you know, you finna come over here and you like, oh, well, he came over and he gave me some flowers, girl, and we talked about it and this, that, and the other. Dude, here's my thing. Whenever you have an issue with your significant other, the way I feel is this. Stop going to the peanut gallery. And what I mean by the peanut gallery, the Amen Squad.
Friend.
The Amen Squad are going to always side with you no matter what the discussion is. You could have walked in at 3 a.m. and you wrong as hell because you and your spouse have a 2 a.m. conversation about you got to be in the house at least by 2 a.m. You walked in at 3. Well, girl, you was only an hour late. I don't know what his problem is. He tripping. Wait a minute now. What you're not telling your girlfriend, though, is that y'all had an agreement. And this is some shit that they don't understand, and you need to stay the hell out of it. But guess what? No one always tells the whole story. The next thing, DV goes both ways sometimes. Don't pretend that men don't get abused. You know, there are some men who get abused too, so let's not play this game. And last but not least, they've already said it. All 3 commentators have already said it. Paper don't stop shit. Okay? Paper don't stop nothing. I'm going to tell you like this. There's been many times, and I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to take a step back because I don't even want to go there because I get emotional. There was a shelter that I was volunteering at, and I signed a non-disclosure agreement. Okay? I show up day 1, and we're talking about self-defense. And one of the people who work there, one of the employees, they're talking about, well, you know, in a case where you're being overpowered, just relax and take as much DNA as possible so you can get back to the cops. Now I looked, I'm like, ooh. And I raised my hand. I was like, so y'all didn't read my background, did you? Okay, let's have this conversation. Is it better to be a victor or a survivor? And a couple raised their hand. Well, I want to survive. I said, let me give you a scenario. A man is on top of you trying to take care of whatever he feels his animalistic primal needs are. And he said, and you say, just do whatever, I won't fight you. And he raises up and smashes your face and breaks your jaw. But you did what you was told, which was what? Let him have his way. Now, he has his way. You got the broken, separated jaw. You go to the hospital, you get that fixed. And every time you think or eat, you feel that click in your jaw. But guess what? You survived. How you feel about that? And the ladies was like, oh my God. I I was like, okay, now I'm gonna give you another scenario. Same scenario, but this time you raised up, you put your thumb in his eyeball socket, ripped it out, squished it in your hand. When he fell off, you got up and stomped him in the balls as hard as you could and ran like a bat out of hell. But you're the victor, not the survivor. The lady looked at me and was like, oh my God. I was like, it's okay, I resign. You didn't hire me for this. And that's why I'm telling you, if you're not ready to deal with your demons, which is why you're staying there, there's always the internal demon of why you do what you do. There's always some reason why you do what you do. And it's been addressed by all three of these gentlemen. If you don't figure out what's my trigger, because triggers work in every way. Triggers can make you mad. Triggers can make you stay in environments that you don't need to stay in. Triggers can make you go back to environments that you don't need to be in. Until mental health is put on the forefront of America, it's very hard to give people advice on anything about the next steps, because this is the one thing no one ever takes care of. Yes, you can go to a shelter. Yes, you can go to the police. Yes, you can do a restraining order. But if you're not ready here, all that shit is rendered obsolete. It's just there.
Yeah.
And I'll double down on that and say you're absolutely correct, because I was attending a gun panel in, I forgot what northern suburb, with another gun team, whatever the case may be. And Kathleen Lewis, I think y'all recognize the name, representative who's against guns, did the red flag laws, all that stuff, whatever the case may be. Yeah. She was on that panel too. It was Kwasi Amoah from the 761st Gun Club, whatever the case may be. And there was a white male guy, but he was a domestic violence advocate. And he was talking about all this women victim, women guns, bad guns, no guns, bad guns. And I checked him and I was like, you didn't say anything about men being the victim of domestic violence. Number one. Number two, you didn't say anything except come to me, come to me, come to me, come to us, come to me, come to us, and we can help you, we can help you, we can help you. But you never teach them how to actually be free where they don't need you anymore. It's almost like you depend on them continuously being a victim, and it makes you relevant. You know what their triggers are. You know what causes them to keep going back. But as long as they can keep going back, it makes you relevant. Because most of these domestic violence crisis centers, they're nonprofit, which means they can't do anything to generate a profit. So they depend on the people that they help. And the more people that we help, the more money we can get. The more money we can get, the more salaries we can pay. So it's in your benefit to keep them a victim so you can stay paid.
Yep.
So that's another reason why they won't address mental health, because it serves their end game. Why the order of protection doesn't protect. Why the police, Warren versus District of Columbia, Marquise has cited it, Don and John has too. Rhyming, Don and John, you get it. But, everybody has cited it. Look, police don't have a duty to protect you. They don't have a duty to protect you. So because they don't have a duty to protect you, no matter how fast we want to get there, we can't get there fast enough. Your man is not going to protect you. Your woman will beat your ass. All of these can equally be true.
And the one thing that people kind of fail to realize is that help, whether it be an instructor, a shoulder, whatever it is, help is supposed to be a scaffold. All right. Now, I know I'm hitting y'all with a lot of big words tonight, but I want y'all to understand what a scaffold does. A scaffold is there to help build the bigger structure. That's why scaffolds are temporary. They are there to help build the bigger structure so that the scaffold is no longer needed and the bigger structure can stand on its own. That's what help is supposed to be. That's what instructors are. We're scaffolds to give you that. We're giving you and helping you build that foundation so that you can stand alone and start researching and figuring stuff out. Everything we say may not be gospel. You know what I'm saying? It's up to you to go out there and read that book or get that research and figure it out. We can push you in that right direction. That's what we're supposed to do. That's how help is supposed to work. Even, and I might get my ass kicked for this one, but even when you look at public aid, don't get me wrong, it was made for the wrong reason. It was made to get someone ass in office. LBJ, look it up, Google it, it's gospel. LBJ did that crap so he can win an election. All right. But I digress. We're not here for that. When you look at how public aid is supposed to work, public aid is supposed to help you get on your feet so you can do something better.
Yes.
You're not supposed to live off of it. All right.
I live off of it.
Like it's again, help is there to push you into a better direction or to help you get to a better direction. The problem is that when your help makes you dependent, it's no longer help, it's an addiction. Like I remember a couple of months ago, someone made this post, I'd rather be needed than wanted. I retorted fast as hell. You ain't never seen my fingers go so fast.
What kind of insecure shit is that?
I'm like, you know, people need oxygen. People don't want oxygen. But if I have to need a person, that's a crutch to me. I want to be wanted. I want my wife. Is there moments where I need my wife? Hell yeah. But guess what? But guess how I got to that need of my wife? It started with the want. And I will always want my wife more than I would need my wife. There's a big ass difference. To want someone in your life is stronger than needing someone in your life. Because guess what? You just showed the signs of addiction. I need this heroin in my arm, man. I need this. No, you don't. No, you don't. You had a taste of it, and all of a sudden, you can't kick it.
Yep.
Kendra, we'll get to your question in a minute.
Who that is?
Kendra. Yep. Kendra had a question off topic. It's still on topic. We're still talking about concealed carry stuff, right? Well, we're focusing on mindset too, so that stuff is important.
Correct.
Off topic, can I travel or fly with my firearm if my concealed carry license is pending? Okay. You always want to research the laws of where you're going before you get there, but only Illinois has that you're lawfully authorized to possess the firearm if you have a FOID card. Other states, to my recollection, you all correct me if I'm wrong, other states don't have, and especially Texas. Texas doesn't have a FOID card. Matter of fact, Texas has constitutional carry.
Carry.
Yeah,
So
no.
I know they do reciprocity on concealed carry. I don't think they do reciprocity on you could possess it, but you can't carry it. Correct me. That's a good answer. That's a good question.
So what I was going to ask is intention. Like, is your intention to go to the other state and carry, or is your intention to go to the other state and train?
That's yes.
That was going to be where I was going to say, because I mean,
Yeah.
prior to the Illinois concealed carry, you know what I mean, I was traveling all over the U.S. with my firearms,
Right.
You know what I mean, for working capacity, for training capacity, different things like that. So obviously, if you're following the state's guidelines based off of what it is you're doing, that you're going to, then obviously it's within the law and you are legal to do so. Right. If you're in Illinois and you don't have a FOID card, but you're an Illinois resident, no, you can't go to the airport and, you know what I mean, take a flight with a firearm.
Where'd you get the gun if you don't have a FOIA card?
Hey,
Hey, it worked for the Morgan brothers.
I mean, we aren't going to go down that road because we already had a straw purchase that was developed in Ella French. So,
For my baby.
You know what I mean?
And word of caution, if you're going through New York, you will get arrested.
Don't even do it.
Yeah.
New York and New Jersey, don't do it.
And Pennsylvania.
Matter of fact, I take it a step further. If you go to New Jersey and you have a hollow point, that's a felony per bullet.
Damn.
That's a felony per round. You cannot have hollow points in New Jersey. That has been beaten into my head quite some time.
Can we have these courtesy of USCCA?
Have them where?
I just wanted to shout them out. USCCA, Border Protect. Go to you. Keep going, guys. Keep going. Shameless plug ass. Damn it. All right.
Hey, hold on. So hold on. You want to go there? Give me 1 second.
Oh, here we go.
I bet you he's going to put on his polo.
So when you take a class with the USCCA instructor and you have a conversation about the USCCA program, if you decide to go platinum or elite, you get this very cool ammo box. Inside this ammo box is a very cool USCCA hat. There is also a very cool, you dig right here.
I went in the wrong direction.
There's also a very cool patch you get with the USCCA. You also get this cool manual about 10 drills to help you improve shooting. You also get a temporary card that covers you the minute you sign up. And if you act now, you get this very cool bullet drive that holds over $500 worth of extra information and books.
But wait, does it come with a fanny pack?
No.
It's on railway. The fanny pack is sold separately.
Hold on. If you call now,
we will include the man purse.
Oh my God, y'all are something else. Oh, Marquise, as long as I don't have to wear a fanny pack, I'll come to your class over Mike's. And you know what? I'll be there with you. I'm fine. I'm cool with that. See, here we go. Us four right here. If you come to it, man, look, right? I'm not putting janky instructors. And don't get me wrong. Let me qualify that. They need mentors. With some mentorship, they can do great things. But as long as they, no. I'm glad that Don is fully clothed, as we just saw.
Right. So the thing is that what I've actually started doing is I'm waiting for my website to update, but I'm offering mentoring and instructor classes to create instructors.
Yes.
Because I feel like, in my personal opinion, I think me and John even talked about it because he was talking about becoming a TC for USCCA. Because I'm a TC for USCCA, all right? I haven't taught any instructor classes yet because there's a program I'm trying to build where it's not just you come to the class and you get an instructor license. No, I want to offer mentoring so that way you don't go out here reckless. You know, I'm trying to mentor you so you understand how to start your business, how to get your Illinois concealed carry license. You know, how to plug, how to set up your Facebook.
Yeah,
I'm trying to give you all of that because it's necessary. And I don't want you coming out here, and this is what I would tell you. We talk about a lot of stuff for concealed carry, but my thing is passion. All right. You know, we teach our kids let me phrase that. I stopped doing this. People teach their kids to work. All right. You teach your kids to work because you've been taught to work.
Yeah, I know.
All right. So I changed my legacy up where I told my kids, and I tell even adults, find something that right now that you love to do and you will never make another dime from it. And that's what you should be doing. Because as long as you have the passion to do it, somebody wants that product. Right. All right. So I tell instructors the same thing. If you are instructing for dimes and nickels, you are in the wrong industry. Because people feel that energy when you're doing it for this and not because of this. People feel that. And I'm gonna tell you right now, look at, if you want proof of this, go to the ISP website and see how many instructors have lost their instructorship.
Whoa!
Because they was doing it for this and not because they really wanted to do it for this. Because I'm gonna be real with you. I'm interviewing people right now to become instructors. And I'm asking specific questions. If I don't hear it in your heart, I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm not gonna do it because the money don't mean shit. Doesn't mean anything to me. I don't have to. I can get money regardless. But if I feel that you ain't doing this for the right reason, I won't teach you. There's other instructors out there that can teach you how to become an instructor.
And the thing is, when they're trying to do it for money,
it shows.
And tell me what y'all think about this.
Oh, it definitely shows.
When they try to do it for money, it's like, you know how they say the customer is always right. That's a money-making philosophy.
That's bullshit.
If you're a great instructor, don't give about your money. You're gonna do the right thing. And I don't give about pissing you off to make you do what you're supposed to freaking do because lives are at stake. I don't give up about a Yelp review. I don't care about the Better Business Bureau. I don't care about who you can freaking take yourself to call yourself making a doggone complaint. You're going to do what you're supposed to do, or you can get the off my doggone range. And it's that doggone, I'm telling you. And once people understand that you really mean business, now we can have fun, we can laugh, but we're going to keep the class is funner if you drop that concrete of discipline on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Like Marquise, when we were out there at his class, again, shouts out to TK Consulting and Security and Firearms up there in Burlington, Wisconsin. We went out there to his Defensive One class, and this is what I'm talking about. Instructors who don't mind going to other instructors' classes, and when you get out there, you ain't no motherfucking instructor. You shut up because you're the student. And Marquise was dropping the safety guidelines. He didn't care, big eyes, little U's, we all one team, but safety, that was his number one thing he preached is safety. And he had no problem getting in the hind parts of those folk out there who for the most part were doing great, but you had a few little and everybody understood you lock it up and do what I tell you to do. I don't want to see nobody shooting any hands off. And there was a lot of reiteration of safety. And so I got to give him his flowers because I'm telling you, you know, it is what it is. There's times I've seen Don on the range lay down stuff. We not playing. And if you in this for the money, trust me, we going to find out because your students come back and trick.
And trash. Like
online classes.
Yeah, there's one instructor. I'm still searching for this person. What this instructor did or does is he signs the target and tells the students to go shoot it and take a picture of it and send it back to them. If I can find out who the hell this person is, I'm dropping the full dime. I'm pulling out an MCI. Remember MCI? Exactly. I'm pulling out an MCI calling card and I'm dropping the whole dime. This cat, and it's so funny because I'm like, you need smarter students because your name is signed, and I couldn't read the signature. The name is signed on the target, and the students thought it was 5 feet, 7 feet, 10 feet. So when I watched them, I was like, "Hey, what you doing?" "Oh, I'm practicing for concealed carry." I'm like, "For who's concealed carry?" "Well, the instructor said it's 5 feet, 7 feet, 10 feet." It's 5 yards,
right?
7 yards, 10 yards. Translation: 15 feet, 21 feet, 30 feet.
Right.
So what you just wasted in rounds, you didn't even barely come close to the first. You didn't even come close to the first distance.
Right.
You 5 feet from the first distance on your last shot, bruh. You suck at life.
I'll never.
He says he's calling him on the Prime Code phone. Oh my God.
On. So I was doing a gun show in Indiana, promoting for the defensive classes, and I had an instructor. There was another training company there, and the instructor comes up to me. He starts obviously drilling me. You know what I mean? Because I was actually new to this gun show. It was our first time there, and he starts drilling me. And so I you know what I mean? Hey, fellow instructor, let's talk. So I obviously started going through the classes that we offer and everything else, and obviously talked about inducing stress. And he's like, "So how do you induce stress?" I was like, "Well, you know what I mean, between vocal and physical calisthenics and things of that nature to obviously raise heart rates and things like that." And he was like, "Well," he's like, "One of my issues that I have," he's like, is I get some older people, and obviously they can't do calisthenics because they're older." Okay. He's like, "But I came up with a way, and maybe you might be interested." And I'm like, "All right, let's hear it." He puts a shock collar on them.
Oh,
While they are mid-shooting, he will hit them with a shock collar.
First of all, I'm a grown ass man.
I
dog.
looked at him and I said, "What?" Like, one, you can go to jail for that. That's like borderline torture.
Jail, you been a sweetheart. Jail is the least of my concern.
Personal level, you know what I mean? On a personal level, you shocked me. First of all, if I allow you to
Thank
put a shock collar on, okay. Second of all, if you shock me, I'm gonna lay you out.
I ain't gonna
But
lie
legit, and no, and he was not joking. This was not a joke. The company is a legit company. I'm not gonna put it out there. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna put people on blast like that. It was an Indiana gun show. I'm down south, so take your pick of the gun shows that are close to Bourbonnais, and go from there.
I'm kidnapping you. You better pray to. Matter of fact, you better catch me on a good day where I'm stupid enough to allow you to put this collar on me. Mm-hmm. That's number one. Number two, you better pray that you have family that love you and will come looking for you if you end up missing. Because I'm perfectly okay with black bagging your ass and kidnapping you. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yep. So like I said, it just like we were talking about other instructors and chasing money and this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, I got to bring up this guy. You know what I mean? Like, this guy put me over the edge. I was just like, you are the reason. I can understand why you don't have students. I can legit understand why you don't have students.
But you know what? I gotta ask. I would love to meet this dude for one reason. I need to know how many students let you do it.
So
let them do it.
When that show happens again, I will invite you guys off of the air, and we can go out there and have a conversation.
Anyone got a minivan?
I used to have one.
I got a pickup. I got a 4-door pickup. It's got a bed cover.
You know what the motion is, and I'm gonna stick to that.
Why are we talking about conspiracy to commit kidnapping? All right.
What are you talking about? Who said that?
Right. Wait.
Why are you jumping to conclusions?
Look,
I was just talking about possibly like opening a book on them.
Right.
You know, like, here, read this book.
Read this book.
Feed them to the dogs.
Wait, so we got fanny packs and dog puppets? What's going on, bro?
I got kids. Shut up.
Hey, don't play with that shit, man.
Y'all just gonna give me all the bitch
shit, man.
Oh my god!
All right, what's next on the agenda?
All right, man. Okay, unarmed person. Can we shoot him?
Disparity of force.
Unarmed person.
And Marcus was just talking about disparity of force. That's why I picked that, right? Unarmed person. Go.
Disparity of force. It all depends on the disparity of force.
EDC Brian says no. Keep going.
Yeah.
Well,
And also, a lot of people think of disparity force as you're particularly outnumbered, or the person has to be bigger than you, and that isn't always the case as well. I mean, let's take Bruce Lee, right? He can kick all the asses pretty well, and as long as we have that prior knowledge that this is who this man is, I'm shooting.
Yep. I ain't even going.
Skill in unarmed combat.
He's going down.
Skill in unarmed combat. Yeah. Or age. Age is another factor for disparity. You know.
Now, age, yes, absolutely.
Did he just pull out an orange revolver? Was that an orange revolver?
Might be in stupid.
I think it was snub. Was it a snub too? I think it was snub too, right?
I think it was a snub.
No, it wasn't snub.
Oh God, no. Is that the single action? Oh. We gonna pray for you, man. But yeah,
so my students who can't qualify. Keep going.
So yeah, the disparity of force is what will determine whether or not if an unarmed person can be shot. You know, again, it all depends. Like, for example, to prevent the commission of a forcible felony, how about that person's unarmed and you're preventing the commission of a forcible felony? You know, like if you see a dude choking out a female, do you just scream freeze?
You know what? That's and that can go either way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a forcible felony, but is that necessarily disparity against the individual with the firearm? I'm just saying.
Technically, by state law, you can you're allowed to defend the life of you or someone else. Technically,
use deadly force. Yeah. Well, Illinois, I don't like how Illinois' laws are written. They are poorly written. It does say that, but
the biggest. Go ahead.
I don't know. That's a very tricky one. I mean, it is a forcible felony.
The biggest thing I'll say is if you can truly articulate, and this is where it comes down to, if you can articulate why you had to use deadly force, then it can be justified. But you have to be able to articulate it. You can't just say he was choking her. Okay? I mean, what was going on that you figured out right then and there that she was going to die and you had to kill her?
Okay. So since we're talking about a choke, am I choking myself really hard? Can you tell the pounds per square? That looks weird, I know, Marquise, but yeah, can you tell the pressure by which I'm choking myself
with the intention?
By how I look, intention. You see what I'm saying? And so, what if it looks as though they are playing, but it looks, or they could be playing, but it looks like they're not playing?
So here's the thing. What I was thinking about the whole choking out thing was in my own home. Like someone in my home was being attacked. I've already told you, and I've discussed this multiple times. If I'm outside, not my monkeys, not my circus. Everything doesn't require my attention. I'll call the cops for you. Because I'm going to tell you right now, there was an incident where right here in it was Blue Island, the Burger King right there on the corner of Blue Island, where and that hotel that's right behind it. I think some of y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Over there in the drive,
127.
Me and my cousin was witnessing a woman getting her ass kicked. I paid for food, drove out of the drive-thru. I'm mad as hell because I ain't gonna get my food, let it ride. Went to the parking lot. We had called the cops. I went into the back of my car and grabbed the blunt. I had a pool stick that screwed up, you know, the pool stick.
Mm-hmm.
I grabbed the big end of it and got ready to get involved, and the cops rolled up. And I heard like, hey, yeah, man, we called them and they over there. Yeah, they over there. But guess what? That's when I was younger and stupid. Because that dude was 3 times my size. That's why I grabbed a weapon.
And I mean, I'll go back off of Mike with that. You know what I mean? Obviously, no, I cannot gauge someone's pound of pressure on their throat. But that's where my words come into play. You know what I mean? I'm a concealed carry holder. If I'm going to stick my nose in, okay, what are you doing? Stop what you're doing. If they're playing, they're going to look at me and be like, oh, we're just playing. You know what I mean? But again, if now, you know what I mean, she starts screaming, help me, help me, help me. And now I'm into the situation. Okay. Now I have put myself in this situation. Can I articulate that her life was in danger? You know what I mean? Again,
and that could be tricky too. Let's say you shot the guy and he lived, and he, you know, me and her fight, and I choke her up, but I wasn't trying to kill her. You know,
maybe that was practice.
These are very tricky things, you know, and like you said, it's a judgment call, and you have to be able to articulate.
Yep.
Was her life truly in danger?
Which why 9 times out of 10, again, I teach the guardian mentality, not the warrior. When me and Marcus talked about this last week or the other night, you know what I mean? I am not training you to go out and save the world. And this is everyone here. Nobody here, I guarantee on this board, we are not training you to go out and save the world.
Okay.
It is to protect your rear end and go home at night.
I got to sidebar that one, though, because I almost... But all right, fair enough. Fair enough. We are not training folk, but I want y'all to understand the stories that we are giving. You know, we all have operated in some way, shape, form, or fashion to protect the civilian populace. So we have a different mindset. So I'm downtown by, was it 1001 South State? They got a new restaurant inside of that building they just built, serve wonderful food, all that great stuff, right? And it's right during the Lollapalooza. So, you know, you get your regular folks that are down there, and then you're crazy sometimes. They come from crazy places. This white guy was walking down, and that's what it was, white guy, walking down the street, walking up to people doing like this. And other people were, you know, moving out the way and stuff like that. And so, you know, I was with my friend, and I'm like, okay, well, let's go on ahead and get inside the car. Let's get inside the car, you know. And then there was this elderly white lady who was walking southbound on State Street, and the guy had walked towards her, and I'm watching him. He's like, and she backed up for a minute, and then he walked further southbound, came right back around at her, and when he came back around at her, I just instinctively jumped out of the car and as soon as he saw that, he saw me, and then he just broke contact and just kept going southbound, and she was like, you would have got him for me, would you? I said, yes, ma'am, I would have. I'm a former cop. Yeah, I would have got you. I would have got him. And so, granted, we're not out there to save the world, but I wasn't going to let her get her ass whooped.
No, but see, that's where, okay, time comes into play here.
Yeah,
okay?
I definitely had time.
We have come from a different cloth in life.
Yeah.
We were cut from a different cloth. Whereas when we were growing up, it was, you know what I mean, respect your elders, look out for your elders, those types of things. And a lot of times with us, we pass those beliefs and those morals, but not everyone abides by them. So there are people out there that are very timid, haven't had the training in order to go out and, let's say, save the world or engage in a situation where they may not necessarily have to pull their firearm, but they can get into hand-to-hand in order to subdue a subject from hurting an elderly person.
Right.
The average everyday civilian doesn't have that training. So for us, like I said, I mean, a lot of times I'm telling my students, you're not, you know what I mean, a vigilante. You're not Superman. You're not Batman. You're not going out to save Gotham. Your goal is to get yourself and your family home each night. That's it.
Yep. And that whole mentality.
Sometimes you can be a good witness.
Yeah. Sometimes you need to be a good witness, and that's it.
Come on, y'all. There's a hero.
But see, here's the thing, though. And this is what, and I want to just piggyback on what John said. I want y'all to remember something. All four of us come from a different background. We got three. Was you military, Don?
Mm-hmm.
No,
So
no.
wasn't man enough.
So
Salvation Army, baby.
Mike, John, and myself, we come from military.
Salvation Army.
You know what I'm saying? The Salvation. Well, he came from Salvation Army. I came from Marine Corps. So that explains why I like crayons so much. Leave me alone. I love crayons. They're delicious, especially red. But you know, it's almost like when we have these conversations, and I hear people say, "Well, I fought for this country. I fought for this country." I always say it the same way. This is how I feel. When I was in Iraq, the last thing on my mind was America. It was the people to my left and right that I was more concerned with. It was my brothers and sisters. Are we going to get home? And if we going to get home, are you mentally prepared to do what we need to do to get our asses back to the States? Ain't nobody running up to the front line screaming, America. Yeah, you're not doing that. No, we not. And if you saying to this day that you are,
lies.
I feel like you lying or you lying to yourself.
Right.
No,
because all I cared about was my people.
They were the person in the corner sucking their thumb.
Right. You know, that's my thing. I cared about the people to my left and right. Yo, are we going? You okay? Yo, you need another mag? I don't know why you pack extra mags, but my mag, I'll throw you one. But get back when you get back over there.
Right.
Get that back. But that was our thing. So our mentality of being protectors goes a little bit further because of certain experiences we've been through.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Don was 5'0", right? He was 5'0".
Yeah, in between the bar.
Yeah.
So Don has a protector's mentality too, but don't get it twisted. Don might light your ass up. You know what I'm saying? But again, our mentalities and backgrounds dictate certain actions. True story. I used to talk about, throwing stuff inside of a shark tank. What can go inside that shark tank that you're willing to go in and go get? I stopped using an analogy because of a drunken moment in California. A bunch of Marines, hey, leave it alone. A bunch of Marines was at Anheuser-Busch SeaWorld. And we were watching the Shamu show. And what happened, Anheuser-Busch, don't judge us. Leave us alone, okay?
Got it.
So now we're watching the show and they bring a family up to observe Shamu in his natural habitat. The woman falls into the water. And you've seen this show. If you've ever been to SeaWorld, you've seen this show. The woman falls in the water and all us Marines ran towards the tank like we finna do something against Shamu. And they got on the mic fast as hell. Wait. She's one of our trainers. She's fine. And I was like,
we were about
to do.
Yes.
Like we rushed. We rushed the tank. And it was like, damn, What was our plan?
What was you gonna do?
Get in the water and Gerber, you know what I'm saying? We gonna shake Shamu. But again, we literally almost jumped in the tank. So I stopped using that analogy because guess what? That liquid courage and our backgrounds of being saviors, that collided hard as hell. And we almost got our ass kicked by Shamu.
In its environment where it can breathe, where we can't.
But that was the furthest thing from my mind. So understand our backgrounds dictate what we're going to do and when we're going to do it. All right. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. John hit it right on the head. Guardian. Okay. Guardian. You come out here with some war paint if you want to and find out the hard way that you're not a warrior for real, or you were a warrior at the wrong moment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Again, you should love You should love the fact Marquise was about to get hell no.
Hell yeah.
You have to understand that everything does not require your madness. Everything does not require a reaction from you. To be in a environment where it's easy just to go, I saw that. Do that.
Yeah.
Do that. 911, what's your mercy? Oh my God, Lord, have mercy, Jesus. They over there and she getting her butt stomped. I'm on the corner of such and such. Y'all need to come over here and help her.
That's what I tell people.
Yeah, excellent.
Use the right tool. You gotta use the right tool for the situation.
Yeah, like
when you use your mouth, use your eyes. You don't always have to use your gun.
We probably have to show the video next week because I don't know exactly where it's at. Look at the Walmart incident where this man was sitting at the Walmart bank. So Walmart had a bank inside of it. All right. He's sitting in the Walmart and these two people walk in. One guy has a black duffel bag across his body and has a handgun in his hand. No one sees the handgun. He walks right in with a handgun. And there's a woman pushing a shopping cart behind him. He gets right in, throws up 3 licks in the air. Humans have 3 or 4 reactions when it comes to hearing gunshots: duck, run, hide. There might be some more, but we're gonna talk about the 4th one.
Right.
So we're gonna stick with run, duck, hide. Now he throws them licks in the air. People have their natural reactions. One man with a gun. He hears the gunshots, and you actually see the video where he jumps a little bit. He decides, I'm going to go find this guy, and I'm going to take him out.
Not in the Walmart.
He goes through the aisles. He pushes the woman out the way, presents, and gets shot in the head.
Yep.
Guess who shot him?
The woman.
The woman who he pushed to the side.
Yep.
Now, think about this mentality. You heard gunshots, and there's still people in the Walmart. His training or background didn't teach him, wait a minute, why would a person still be here after shooting, after hearing gunshots? That's not what hit his head. What hit his head? I got this. And I was asked, again, we understand this. Hindsight is 2020. We all sometime Monday morning quarterback or couch quarterback. And hindsight is 2020 because we're not in those situations. But it comes up. Well, what would you have done in that situation? If my family is not in that Walmart and I'm next to that door,
I'm leaving.
Fall into the gap. I'm out.
I'll even give you another one. And this one happened in Chicago. Matter of fact, keep going, Marquise. I'm going to find that video because we're going to watch that. Keep going.
But yeah, so I'm telling you guys, don't look to be the hero. Please don't look to be the hero. You want to be the hero? Be the army soldier in that other Walmart incident where the guy walked in with the AR. No, he had an AK. He had an AK. And he put headphones on and went to go shoot people. It was a army guy who was there who was like, come on, let's go, let's get out of here. That's the hero. Now, people asked me about that video, and I told them I'm gonna take you on a darker note of that video. The hearing protection he had on was the Howard lights, the ones that enhance light sounds. I took it a step further. I said, I want to tell you how demented a person can be. How about he put those headphones on so he can hear whispering? And while you're hiding from the gunshots, oh my God, I hope he doesn't see me.
Sorry, keep going.
I hope he doesn't see me. And now he hears that and he comes around that corner ready to blaze. This was in Texas.
A robbery in Roseland.
Shut up. Sorry.
Oh, there we go. What we got?
Yeah, we got it. Yep. Here's the video. This is a video of a Roseland shooting where Derek Golston, he's a jerk taco, not jerk taco, jerk chicken. You probably talked about it in class. I know you have. Jerk
chicken truck.
Yes, in Roseland. Let's go on ahead and play this video and we'll discuss it because this is exactly what not to do and to do. Go.
Turned into a tragic shooting Saturday evening. The victim, a licensed gun owner. CBS 2's Eric Cox reports he lost his life, but not before shooting one of the robbers.
Bullet holes in this Roseland barbershop's window. A reminder of the bloodshed here.
It's so sad. What is our neighborhood coming to?
Lucretia Delk says her sons come to Crispy Cuts often.
When they come up here, they get their hair cut, shaved, and everything.
Loved ones tell CBS 2 Derek Golston parked his food truck outside the shop near 112th and Michigan. Delk describes him as a
very nice guy.
The Roseland resident says she'd see Golston driving around in his truck.
He even come on the block sometimes.
Chicago police say the 43-year-old was selling hot plates of chicken Saturday evening when two people approached his truck, armed with guns. But Golston had a gun license and a firearm of his own. A shootout started. Golston was hit, but so was one of the robbers, 18-year-old Carlos Smith. Both men were taken to Christ Hospital. They were soon pronounced dead. Family members say Golston is a father of two. His sons just 2 and 4 years old.
I will not be taking my baby back.
Jacqueline Phelps used to bring her little boy to this barbershop.
It's dangerous for me and my kids to be out on the street sometimes. I hate that we have to walk these streets.
A 51-year-old man inside the shop was also shot twice in the leg. 9th Ward Alderman Anthony Beale's office right across the street from where shots were fired. Surveillance cameras pointing in the direction the deadly shooting took place.
I mean, it's just not safe anymore. What can we do? Fight to get the neighborhood back.
In Roseland, Eric Cox, CBS 2 News.
So there are some details that are also missing from that. Oh, sorry, guys. There are some details that are also missing from that. So what happened was he did not have his gun and he had his license on him, but he didn't have his gun on him, right? On his person. It was in the truck. So the two guys approach him, rob him, and then they go into the barbershop. That's why the shooting took place, into the barbershop. He then sees them go into the barbershop. He grabs his gun and then proceeds into the barbershop and tries to engage them. Like you already walked away with your lease on life. They robbed you, took your stuff off of you, figured they were going to go into the barbershop and get them. That was your chance to either drive away and call the police, or if you stayed there to be a good witness, understanding covert concealment, right? Still call the police. But he went inside and exchanged gunfire. Did he get one? Yes. But whose life did it take also? His, and also getting another person killed.
Yeah.
Go, guys.
First thing, he's engaged in multiple. He's already outgunned. Second, usually, I mean, you know, a person can't predict this, but obviously they was just there to rob. Because usually if a robber is going to come in and kill people, they're going to either come in already shooting or somebody will initiate a shooting, which what he did. His actions alone actually, well, he lost his life, but he jeopardized others. To your point, he should have left. Called 911, took cover, grab his gun, take cover, and be a good witness.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
that was
you're looking at antisocial versus asocial violence. You know, one is going to have, if the person engages in conversation, at least they're talking. They're articulating what they want, which means, there you go. It's the person who doesn't say a word, and like Don said, if they came in blazing, that would have been their true intention. Their true intention was to kill. If they came in blazing, but they came in talking. Yo, run your pockets. Let's go. Give me that. Shit, here you go.
Run
it. And as far as being outgunned, I mean, I look at it like this. He actually had to jump on him. And still, in my personal opinion, let's say if it was one of us four who has been better trained, and we was in that same scenario where that was legit, I wouldn't say outgunned. I would mostly say training dictates behavior.
Yes.
Training dictates behavior because two people unaware, but they're both threats. That's the same equivalent of an active threat.
Yeah.
If you walking down the hallway and both of these guys are shooting up the school, and I got to jump on them, I can imagine the shot and the swing. I can imagine shot and swing, but guess what? What will make you swing around?
Probably the sound of that gunfire. Yeah.
You the guy hit first to make you swing around. I hate to say it, and it's a bad comparison, but forgive me. It's just like paintball. You ever been paintballing and you hit the person with the paintball and they swing around with a reflex action and shoot back?
Right. Yeah. Cadaver's response. Yeah.
It's the same thing.
You might as well switch up. Yeah.
So, in my personal opinion, it just depends on the person.
Yeah.
Because, in my personal opinion, he was behind the 8 ball if he had to go get his gun.
And that we could argue that might have been the thing that saved his life, though, because if he had his gun on his person, they probably would have shot him, assuming he was going to grab it when they walked away,
Maybe.
or took his gun from him. That could happen too.
Or the other thing too, and you mentioned it, was another person was killed in the process of him being a savior.
Yeah.
What if the family would have sued her, his spouse?
Yeah.
So now, not only did you jeopardize your life and get killed, your spouse could have potentially got sued for your actions.
Yeah.
Because remember, it's not about what would have happened. It's about what happened.
And what you should have known.
And what you should have done. Like, look at the woman, what was it? Was it on Harlem? She was on her way to the hospital and she had her concealed carry. It was like 4 a.m. The guy snuck up and was trying to rob her at the bus stop.
Yeah.
She drew, she fired, shot, she won.
Yes.
But look at everything that's associated with that. Number one, she was on her way to work. Number two, she was at a bus stop. Number three, she's a nurse. All three of these things dictate places you can't have the gun.
You're good.
But guess what? It's not about where she was going with the gun. It's about where the incident happened.
Yeah.
It happened at the bus stop, and she had a loaded gun on her, which means technically she was walking around with a loaded gun on her way to work, about to get on the bus to a hospital.
And she was willing to take that risk too.
And that's the difference. Are you willing to take that risk for your own personal safety and say, be damned with everything else? Which is why we tell you guys, don't run this. Let them do their job. Because the DA saw that case and was like, oh, hell no, we're not going to charge her. Dun, 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 dun.
That's a perfect segue to the last question we're going to talk about.
Uh-oh.
We got to make this one a quick one because we all got the itis face.
Hey, you laughing. My wife was upstairs cooking, bro, and I'm sitting here smelling all the food. I'm like,
come on, Mike.
No, it's not a come on, Mike, because when we get into our rants or we get into our conversations, we going.
Yeah.
But I was jealous.
But what if I go to jail? If you do this and then you go to jail, look, I don't want to go to jail. I just want to have my license and not have the police mess with me. I don't want to go to jail. Thoughts?
Either way, you're gonna see a jail cell. That's inevitable.
People think it's TV.
How long you sit in jail is going to be dictated by the situation that happened
and your plan.
Yep.
And your plan, because for me, I get handcuffed to a hospital bed. I'm okay with that. I eat that old ass applesauce or Jello.
And I get it. EDC Brian says, yes, Mike, I'm afraid of jail. But I'm going to tell you this. You do not carry your firearm to avoid jail. Nothing that we tell you can keep you out of jail. And it's not that we're telling you things to cause yourself to get imprisoned. It's that the decision to arrest you or not doesn't rest in your hands. It doesn't rest in our hands. It rests in the hands of people who work for the government. And so there are so many agendas, so many motivating factors that could determine whether or not you get arrested. That's not why you carry to avoid jail. You can do everything right and still get falsely arrested.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You carry to keep yourself out of a brown pine box.
Yes.
That's what you carry for.
And let's even go you further with that. You really carry the firearm to level the playing field because there are no absolutes that you will survive.
Mm-hmm.
You could shoot, stop the threat, and yourself be shot and don't know it till you go into backlash and your body finally calms down. And then the brain catches up with the trauma. And then this is your first time seeing blood come from an area and you don't know how to fix it. Wow! And now you're freaking out. And now you are causing yourself to hyperventilate. We just played the video a couple of shows ago of young Quincy Smith who was shot by using the taser, right? He had the taser out, guy had the gun. Get your hands out your pocket, get your hands out your pocket, pop. He runs to his car, calls for help. Luckily, he was able to do that, especially where he was shot neck and arm.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was a guy there, a white guy, bystander, supporter of the police, who calmed him down and his heart rate, which because we're in Estill, South Carolina, backup was a long ways away.
Yep.
And just calming him down and calming his heart down kept from the hyperventilation that could cause your heart rate to accelerate and work faster, which would cause blood to pump more and push more, which could have caused him to bleed out. Hey, son, what's going on? My son is watching. You see? And so these are the things that you don't know the outcome until you win. You're only as good as your last encounter. Don't go in there with that, I fought 50 fights and I'm going to win this time. Fuck around and get Ronda Rousey.
Yep.
I'm just saying, because remember that last fight before she was gone? She talked all that and slipped on a banana in the tailpipe, and that was it.
Yeah.
The only absolute is I've got a tool to be able to play ball, but what would I do if I had no gun to use? If I got no choice, I'm going all the way, and have in your mind that today's a good day to die if you're going to go all the way, because the fear of death will cause you to hesitate too.
Yep.
I yield.
I would say I'll add one more thing too, since you've obviously brought up, coming out of that chemical cocktail dump, trauma catching up with your mind and everything else. Obviously, we continue to preach the advanced training aspect and defensive training, continue your training. There's another aspect that, we have mentioned at different points, but not tonight, is if you're ready to take a life, you have to be ready to save a life. Medical training. Okay? For me, I carry a tourniquet with me at all times when I'm out and about. And it's not necessarily to save the world. If I get shot and I'm shot in the arm,
Save your ass.
I need to save my life.
Right.
I need to save my child's life if they were, for some reason hit. And in the process of me trying to protect my child, and now, I'm trying to get them away, and gunmen started shooting, my child was hit. I need to be able to save my child.
Yep.
So there's an aspect that comes into this stuff where, we continue to preach about the training, but it's not just about shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You get hit, you have to know how to survive.
Yep. And even with some of my training, and again, I don't know, I think you guys probably do the same thing. I always tell people, you need 4 things to have a good gunfight besides not being there in the first place, because those are the best ones, the ones you never attend.
Yep.
But time, distance, cover, and confidence. If you don't have those 4 things, get the hell out of there. You shouldn't have been there in the first damn place. But then after a shooting, I also tell people about what I've learned is a thing called a 4 C's checklist. All right. It's cover, combat breathing, communication, and condition. Okay. Those are the 4. I teach my students about the 4 C's checklist. All right. So cover, that could be electronic. Now, what's my emergency, whatever it is. It can also be something physical that stops or slows down bullets, or it could be something that conceals your body. Okay, that's cover. All right. But technically that's concealment. That's concealment. I don't want to be quoted on that.
Yeah, that's true.
Concealment is concealment, but covers those things I'm just talking about. Combat breathing. After you shoot, you want to start breaking your tunnel vision and start breathing, because people start looking around, seeing what's going on. Take those deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Communication. Check with your partner. Check with the people around you. Are you okay? Were you hit? Is everyone all right? Call 911. I'm communicating with people, which also incorporates breathing. And last but not least, condition. What's my condition? What's the condition of my firearm? Do I need to reload? Do I need to do a tactical reload to make sure I'm still cool in case there's another encounter? What's the condition of my environment? Is it time for me to leave? As far as it's too hostile for me to stay there? Not because I shot somebody and let me run like a bat out of hell? Total difference. Total difference. Think about it this way. If you wouldn't leave a car accident, don't think about leaving the shooting unless the environment's too hostile to stay there. All right. So again, don't be on here talking about something. Well, I heard on Mike's show I could run after shooting somebody.
No, you ain't heard that shit.
Nobody say that.
Nobody said that.
All right. So again, those are some things you can take in. And again, rewind. When he puts this on, rewind and write that shit down. All right. Time, distance, cover, confidence. 4 C's. Cover, combat breathing, communication, condition. Okay. I yield.
Final words,
One quick thing I just want to say. Just 2 things actually. One, be realistic about your abilities. Don't go to a range. You're sitting still. You're shooting a piece of paper that's sitting still, and that's shooting back, and you think you're fucking John Wick. Okay. 2, your equipment. Does whatever you carry, will that allow you to engage multiple targets if that presents itself? And again, there's a lot of people who want to carry a 6+1 or a 7+1 configuration, and I guarantee 2 people, that's not enough. You're gonna do an average of 3 to 5 shots per person, even before they do a adrenaline dump, before they even realize that they've been hit. So check your equipment. Get you a gun with a larger capacity or carry magazines. I just can't stress that enough. I can't.
We talked about that on the last Wednesday show when I blurted out, and then Mike had to start counting and Marcus started counting. I carry 52 rounds on me at all times when I am out.
Okay, I carry.
So everyone started going through like, wait a minute, how many do I carry? How many do I carry?
Yeah.
So it's funny that you say that. You know what I mean? It's definitely something that has to be addressed.
Yes.
I do the same. 30 anytime, anywhere from 31 to 46.
And immersed.
Yep.
Really?
And a long clip. A long clip.
A 30 round popper.
Don't use a C word on this.
Huh?
Don't use a C word. You said clip.
Clip.
What the hell wrong with you? You know what? I will say this too. Something that might save your life if people don't know this. If you have an old cell phone, one that you don't use anymore, all old cell phones still call 911.
They dial 911.
Yes.
They all still dial 911. So personally, if you got that old cell phone, because some of y'all still trifling with them iPhones that die in 3 seconds, Get that old school flip. Make sure it's always charged up next to the bed. It always dials 911. Don't get stuck on mechanical. Mechanical don't always save your life if you don't treat it right and you don't train with it. It's that misconception that I got a gun, I'm good. Nah, a gun is, in my opinion, it's a liability. A gun's a liability if you don't train with it, you don't respect it, you don't follow the laws with it, and you just think that it's going to come up and save your life. A gun is only as good as the person holding it. Think about it this way. How many of y'all right now can go out there and say, I can go win NASCAR? I bet if your ass trained, there's a possibility.
Shit.
Dude, I'm not even trying it. I would, man, please. I'm not taking no turn at 150 miles an hour. Man, man, to hell with that. I'll watch it. I swear to God.
It's all left turns.
All left turns.
Like, it's not a right turn anywhere in there. And,
when you get off the track.
Okay. I can't do it. I can watch it though. I can definitely watch it. It's a skill. It's a skill for sure.
I would say you'd actually get off on the left getting off the track, but coming on the track is somewhat of a right turn. It's more of like a right kind of just drift onto the track.
Like a merge.
Yeah, you're just merging in.
Okay, so I'll take that back. So we got merge left and right. We don't have turns. You're right.
There you go. This ain't the Grand Prix. We ain't in the Grand Prix.
I stand corrected.
You said Mike is right. All right, y'all. This has been a wonderful show. A lot of knowledge. We definitely went longer than planned, but y'all should have gotten a lot of stuff out of this. I just want to say, John, Don, and y'all killing me. John, Don, and Marquise are going to plug their businesses again. I just want to thank these guys for coming on and being willing to share their knowledge with you all, and for you all also hanging in there. The viewership has been consistent. This has been consistent. We've been going live consistently. For the past about 4 weeks now?
4 weeks, yeah.
And this has been great. Welcome to have Don to the platform. I let these guys plug their business. And please, y'all make sure y'all get extra training from them. Don't just come here and just take this knowledge. Please, I would love it if Marquise and Don and John can sit there and say, hey, man, we had so many students that came from the platform. They saw it. They came out. They trained. They had a good time. Y'all come back in, talk about your experience, talk about the training that you went through, what you've learned. Marquise got in your ass, Don and John, because it's going to happen. It's what it is. And the continued education is very necessary. So I will end with this. Thank you, guys. We started with John. We're going to go in reverse. Marquise and Don and John. And we're going to have a great night. Marquise, go.
All right. So as always, everyone out there, stay safe. I'm with P6 Firearms Training. Plug-in classes. August 21st, which is next week, which I didn't realize until today, is next week, is Defensive Pistol 2 course. Now, I'm okay with people showing up if you've had prior defensive pistol training with a holster. I ain't talking about no gun range stuff, all right? I interview my students to make sure you come out there and you know what you're doing before you come out there and come play with bullets. We're going to be covering weapon retention, first aid, one hand shooting, use of barricades, cover movement, and shooting from a vehicle. We're going to simulate that with chairs though, because I can't put a vehicle on the range. September 18th is intro to red dot. Those of you who have the red dot guns that think you hot shit because you played with it at a range without a holster, come get some with me. I'm down for it. Let's see what you got. September 26th is Defensive Rifle 1. Defensive Rifle 1. This one covers a lot of marksmanship, movement, magazine changes, as well as stoppages. And last but not least, October 23rd is my last Defensive Pistol 1 for the year. All right. This will be my 4th Defensive Pistol 1 that I normally only do 2 of per year. This is how much this class was demanded, because everyone saw the video Mike did when they was dropping the cup, and everybody lost their mind. Like, man, I need that type of training. I hear you. It's here. Come play. The only thing I did was I switched up the cup to cell phones.
Yeah, that was fun. I've done that before, but that was fun. Yeah. I'm gonna play that video. Go ahead, whoever's talking. Go ahead.
Donald Bolton, Illinois Protection Services. So you can follow my personal page at Donald Bolton, or follow my business page at Illinois Protection Services. I just checked during our panel. I have 1 spot left for this weekend, which will be held in Madison, Illinois. So if you're looking for a class this weekend, come see me. Other than that, just follow my page. I have free lessons, giveaways, and I'll just be posting up and coming classes.
All right, so I'm John with Guardian Concepts, again, based out of Bourbonnais. Obviously, follow us on Facebook, Guardian-Concepts. If you want to come out and see us, we will have some appearances coming up in the next couple of weeks besides classes. Down here in Moments, there's a fest called Gladiola Fest. There's a huge kind of vendor fair going on. We will have tables at. That is this weekend, the 14th and 15th. We will be out there from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. This Saturday and Sunday. And then the Will County Fair, which is in Peatone at the Will County Fairgrounds, the 25th of this month through the 29th. So the Will County Fairgrounds, August 25th to August 29th. Come out, meet us, stop by the tent, say what's up, shoot the shit with us. We can talk about MRSs and tactical satchels and Mike with his jeggings and whatnot, and thigh holsters, and we can talk about it. Come on out and say what's up.
Fuck. Gotta play this video. Goddamn jeggings. This is an example of Marquise with his class. This was amazing. Here we go.
Yeah, same shit happened with the firefighter on 118th and Western, how he did not drop the popcorn. He just switched hands.
When he was coming out again?
Yes, when he was coming out, he was about to get carjacked. He went from dominant or strong to support and then grabbed his revolver instead of just dropping it. Now, sidebar, that popcorn is good, so I know why he didn't drop the shit. That is rest in peace, sir, but I can get it.
So here we go. All right. Everyone has rounds. Remember, 75 rounds for this drill.
Yes, sir.
Okay? You're going to put in that work. I told you.
Left or right?
This time, left hand. No, right hand. And this time you step it to the right. He brought a real bottle of water for this?
He lost his cup.
Lost my cup.
Where? I don't know. It is. Oh, here it is. What? I fucking had it.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. The reason why I didn't put liquid in this, if you drop it and it splashes in your face, you might have a different reaction.
That's why I said throw this.
And I want y'all to be safe.
Right.
All right. So this time, you're stepping which way?
Right.
Where's your right?
Your way.
Probably that way. Awesome. Here we go.
Probably your way.
I gotta have him fix his grip.
Shit happens.
All right. Pick him up. Let's go. Left hand. Left hand, you're still going to the right.
And please make sure you bring a lot of mags. Don't you come your ass up there with no 2 mags.
Man.
Shit.
Hey, Mike,
slow
dude, I've warned people. It's literally in the documentation that if your gun holds less than 10, bring at least 5 mags.
Yes.
And
slowing everybody down because you got
right. But you know what? Here's the other thing, Mike. Changing it to the cell phone, game changer. Uh-oh, how we lose Don?
Don is he'll be back. I don't know. I told you he in Afghanistan or somewhere. He not that. He gonna come back unless he had like an Android or something like that. I don't know.
It was like Pittsburghistan, but it was kind of funny. It was kind of funny because I was waiting. I wanted to give a shout out to Don, and he left.
Yeah.
Me and Don met at a NRA law enforcement course.
Yeah, I remember when he got certified. Yeah.
Yeah, so we met at an NRA law enforcement course for handgun, shotgun, and they dubbed me Tackleberry when I was in that course, and I still crack up to this day because you know how you say about giving you your flowers.
Yeah.
Don said it. He was like, "Dude, you was the guy to watch in that class."
Yes.
He said because you went in there, you put in that work, and you was helping everybody out who needed help, but there was one guy there. I won't use his name.
Yeah.
I feel unless Zeus hit him with a bolt of lightning, he wouldn't have got the help he needed.
No.
Because he was that bad.
Yeah. And that happens. They go die. They go die. Hey, welcome back.
Oh, Doug,
I don't know what happened.
Doug, you heard the shout out I gave you?
Huh?
Did you get the shout out I gave you?
No, I didn't.
That I told him that me and you met at the NRA law enforcement course.
Oh yeah, that 44-hour course, man. That was fun. That was intense. A lot of shooting. I think we did like 800 handgun rounds and about 300 shotgun rounds or something like that.
Yeah, you missed.
Damn it.
Shots fired.
That's it.
No, we didn't shoot that much, but yeah.
There was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of shooting, but no, it wasn't that damn deep, bro.
Yeah.
I'm trying to imagine
200 or something like that. Well,
Yeah,
you know what? You're right. I took a lot home, but we had to buy a lot of shit. Yeah.
So the only person who I haven't met in person yet is John.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to stalk his ass one day and just show up in his face. What's going on?
And that's coming. That's coming. I'm telling you. We're gonna definitely do that. All right. I appreciate all of you all. Yeah. And until next Wednesday, or if we go live again before then, it's always gonna be at 8. Because
let's pray that there isn't a need to go live anytime soon. Because Sunday was based on the incident.
Well, East Chicago did just shoot somebody, 2 people in a traffic stop. So that happens. You know, we'll keep our fingers crossed, but we'll just push from there. You know. Yeah, we'll just keep our fingers crossed. You guys stay safe. Y'all really been hanging. I've been watching the views where they come from. Y'all really been doing an excellent job for sure. Shouts out to you guys on YouTube, Facebook, all you guys. Like the page, share the page, hit these guys up in their DMs, whatever the case may be. Register for the class. Don't just come collect the information. Of course, we love it. We love the viewership. I swear we do. But make sure you get the extra training. We're not saying this for our health, because I'm telling you this. We ain't gonna be there for your ass when the shit kick off. You gonna be there for yourself, or are you? Or are you gonna be there?
I mean, you can call me afterwards, and we can try and work through the psychological stuff.
Swear to God.
As far as on site, you on your own.
Because Wednesday is the education night, but like I said, we're gonna start to, and I've got a lineup already. We're starting to bring in persons who have been victims of crime, who have survived from that stuff, and it's gonna be like a quasi Vlad type thing, but you're gonna see dual screens where we get to ask questions and people get to ask comments, and they will get to engage with people. This is an interactive show, and I just want to thank all of y'all. So without further delay, because we about to hit that 2-hour 40-minute mark, and y'all see the bags is there. So it's time to eat. Without further delay, you all have a great night. Be safe. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in to Trigger with Instructor Mike and Friends. We out. Take care.
Peace.
Good night.